Hey guys, what is up? It's me, JB, and the best Chris in all of wrestling podcast, Mr. Chris Dredd. And up next is our incredible interview with Michael Elgin. Sweet Lord, it is a killer interview, but we have to inform you beforehand that there are some words and language used that might not be appropriate for younger viewers and taken out of context would be considered offensive. They are used in context, but we'd like to add that beforehand. So sit back, relax,
enjoy
2.5 hours nearly of us and Michael Elgin shooting the shit. Thank you very much. Check out the interview. Hey, wrestling friends and family, what is up? It's me, JB, the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts, and today we have an incredible guest for you. Chris, tell us about this amazing guest we've got.
I mean, I swear, Michael, you've been wrestling since you were really young, right? Well, from what I can gather online. I mean, how old were you when you started, man? I mean, we're looking, what, 15 or something?
14. I started training at 14 and actually had my first match after 2 weeks of training. So I had my first match when I was 14 as well.
Jeez.
Man, after 2 weeks of training, when myself and Jordan trained, I was still bitching about hitting the ropes, man. Like,
well, it's an interesting story. So I was at WrestleMania 18 in Toronto, and there was flyers being handed out after the show. And I grabbed it, and it was like 2-week pro wrestling camp this summer, ages 14 and up. And I was like, well, I'm 14. This is exactly what I'm supposed to do. So the camp was Monday to Friday and Monday to Friday, but the school itself had classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I would stay after the all-day camp. You know, it was like from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'd go with one of the guys who was helping lead the camp to go eat. I'd come back. I'd do their evening class on Tuesdays, same on Thursdays, and then I'd also come up Saturday. So I was getting extra training with the guys that were actually trained priorly. So the camp was mostly newer people, whether it be only a couple weeks or a couple months or never trained at all. And then in the evening and on the weekends, I got to train with people who had some experience. So I was learning more. And, you know, not saying I was great off the start, but it was like, hey, we're going to teach you body slams. I was like, I know a body slam, you know? So you do it, and then it'd be like, oh, you just got to put your hand here. I was like, oh, that's no problem. It's just a little change. So a lot of the things, because I was in the, you know, I'm 38, so I grew up in the heat of the backyard wrestling phase. You know what I mean? Like, I actually remember getting Rhino's autograph at WrestleMania 18 at the Fan Fest, and I was wearing a backyard wrestling t-shirt from the VHS tapes that they used to have.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, you're not doing any of that, are you? And I was like, no. And I was like, oh, just yesterday I got put through like a barbed wire table. So of course I do it. But you know what I mean? So it's like, you kind of, wrestling's one of those things. And I think it's a lot like anything. You know, if you watch basketball, if you really pay attention, it's like, okay, a good shooter holds his hand here and here. A good dribbler footwork is this way. And wrestling's very similar if you watch it from that point of view. And for whatever reason, when I watch something that I'm very intrigued with, I start dissecting it. You know what I mean? Like, I would watch a wrestling tape once as a fan, and then I would rewind it, put it back in, and then I would study it. And that started at a really young age. So I think it just, I caught on to things rather quickly compared to most people, because I wasn't just somebody that was watching as a fan. I was watching somebody as somebody that knew since he was in kindergarten, wanted to be a pro wrestler when he grew up.
I mean, you've been sort of everywhere. You've done so much in the business. It's crazy. Like, I mean, it's you know, New Japan. I mean, from New Japan to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. You know, Noah. I mean, a Ring of Honor, obviously the big one. You know, I mean, man, it's insane, sort of how you've sort of where you've been and what you've done. You know, what would you say is your favorite place that you've wrestled? You know, somewhere where you were like, you know what, this, I love the style, I love the way it's set up.
Japan.
Like, just Japan.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to be with New Japan, Big Japan, and Noah, and I was supposed to do All Japan, but I was with Impact at the time, and they were trying to work with Noah, so they said no to that, which
Right.
kind of pissed me off because I was supposed to wrestle Miyahara, and that was a match I really wanted.
Yeah, I mean, you're so incredibly well traveled as a person. You just said yourself, you're still 38. Like, it's an incredible sort of age to be and to have done so much. And you worked
I'm
with, yeah, sorry, yeah, you worked
no,
with
no, no, no. Please,
everyone.
I
Yeah,
interrupted you. Please
no,
continue, and I can answer the way.
you worked with a bunch of guys it's essentially a golden era. Like, I know people might want to argue about that, but you worked with, some of the guys who are, literally on TV every week now, on
Yeah,
what you call big TV. Yeah, like,
the only two I kind of was a little bit late to the party with was Seth Rollins and CM Punk. They were already in WWE
yeah,
by the time I got my break, and I was booked against Seth Rollins in IWA Mid South, but I had hurt my knee prior, so I think it ended up being like John Gresham against him. Um, so really, outside of that, I mean, I've pretty much wrestled everybody that was an indie star that's now on TV. I can't think of one that I didn't.
Yeah, because I mean, we were looking, KO, Delirious, Briscoes,
Oh yeah,
um, you know, it's I mean, when I still find it difficult because I was watching ROH at that point, and even for me, when I see like Kevin Owens, I still call him Kevin Steen.
right.
To me, it's still that sort of era, and I mean that was crazy at that time, and there was is there a reason why you think there's a lot of people that speculate it's because of what was happening sort of in the background, but is there a reason why Ring of Honor never really sort of got past a certain point? Was it just literally a case of people mismanagement ultimately, or money?
Well, my thing is they were often late to the party. And what I mean by that is the two most predominant cases are me and Davey Richards. Davey Richards should have been the world champion. He should have beat Tyler Black before he left for WWE. But instead, it was Roddy and Eddie Edwards and then Davey, and they kind of missed the boat. And then I should have beat Steen, but then it was Jay Briscoe, and then it was Adam Cole, and then me. So it's like they had people they're hot, and I want to clarify because everybody who watches anything mixes up words. I'm not saying that those guys didn't deserve a run. I just
Sure.
think a lot of those guys met their peak during the run instead of reaching their peak and then getting their run and extending their peak. So, for instance, if I had to beat Steen and then Cole beat me and then Jay beat Cole, I think that would have been a better go. And I know that they gave the title to Jay Briscoe because they thought he was leaving for WWE. I understand that. Um, I think that's part of it. I think that as brilliant as Jim Cornette is, he looked at Ring of Honor as a territory rather than understanding that all of our stuff was getting seen. So he was trying to treat quote unquote house shows as if there were house shows back in the day where you can take it easy. People are just happy to see you. You don't have to go nuts for your spots.
Right.
But he didn't realize that how Ring of Honor survived for so many years was DVDs. And then we got into streaming services. So it's like you can't take a night off when people are seeing literally every show you do. And I think that kind of prevented it. And then if you really look at pro wrestling, they kept bookers in position for too long. Like if you look at great eras, great bookers without other people either helping them or other people taking over or switching to a committee from one or two bookers or switching people on that committee, you only have about a 2 to 3 year window of fresh ideas before you're just recycling stuff. I mean, it happened with Ring of Honor. The big thing with me and Adam Cole was he shaved my mullet off. And then I leave the company, and a year after, he shaves Jay Lethal's hair. And it's like, you're just repeating stuff rather than coming up with fresh ideas. And that's not that I'm not saying anybody was a terrible booker. It's just the fact that most bookers only have X window. I mean, if we look at WWE, they have high points and low points, and it's usually due to the booking, not necessarily the talent.
Yeah.
And it's just because if somebody's in a position too long, they run out of ideas. You don't get fresh ideas. You don't create fresh stories. You don't create something that people haven't seen. If you look at ECW, I mean, they were good, but their really hot era was probably what, 98, 99, 97 to 99, maybe. So you're looking at 2.5 year window, and Paul Heyman's brilliant. Then you look at the SmackDown 6 era. That only lasted about 2 years. So you're thinking in 2 to 3 year increments where TV's really strong or the product's really strong. That's because you're able to get fresh ideas from a fresh minded booker. And I think, and I don't hold it against anybody. Of course, you want to keep your job. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose your job. You want to keep it as long as you can. But I think some different ideas and some different people in those areas would have definitely benefited Ring of Honor going to the next level.
I mean,
Max,
you just described WCW from 97 to 99, didn't
I was literally
It's every promotion.
I was
You
literally
have
going to
about
say that. Yeah, from
yeah
97 to 99, 2 years, bam, and then that's it. Then you start the sort of decline in ideas and rehashing shit.
yep.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, so before Ring of Honor, you're doing sort of a lot of indie stuff. Before that, did you ever come over to the UK and do anything with over here?
No, so I was in the time where UK and all the international places were asking people to fly themselves over, and of course there was a great amount of wrestlers who did that,
Yeah,
and I refused to do that. So I had to wait to get to Ring of Honor until I had, the other countries that I got to visit. So I was predominantly Canada, United States before I went to Ring of Honor.
cheap ass fucking British promoters trying
I
to
mean,
get.
I understand it if you're willing. It's a business point. I understand it. Like, I just when I got to IW Mid South, it was kind of ending the time where it was really hot.
Yeah,
So England was only booking people that were like Ring of Honor. They weren't booking the CZW or the IW Mid South talent like they once were.
sure.
You know, um, so that was just kind of what happened, which is fine. But I wasn't willing to do that because if you're willing to pay, if you're willing to fly yourself, then they're going to ask you to take very low wages for your shows too. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not willing to do that. So I didn't do anything outside of Canada and the United States till after Ring of Honor.
And that's fair enough. You know your worth. You're like, yeah, it's completely understandable. I mean, it would have been great to have you, some of these shows in the UK, obviously, but it, something that didn't work out. And yeah, we got. I mean, we totally respect it. You're not going to chuck your own money, or it's just not good business sense, is it? So,
Well, my thing is, if you fly yourself to a country once, they're going to expect you to every time. Like, I'm not saying from the day I debuted, I made money. I didn't. I was driving to Chicago from Toronto, which is 8 hours each way for $40 paydays just to get my name out there. But once you build up your name, then you become more valuable to those companies and they'll pay you. But a flight's a big price to, to cover all the time.
Yeah.
So I just never wanted to fly myself to a country and then be labeled as somebody who, they're willing to fly themselves out. And then you don't get booked with that flight in hand, wrestling's very much a power thing because once you start wrestling, you start finding an airline you like, you start collecting miles, which means you can travel first class. So then you got to get to a point where you can say, hey, yeah, I'll come over, but I need to be this airline. And that's just the nature of the beast because I feel like the travel takes much toll on the wrestlers as the wrestling does, Imagine being sitting in economy for 12 hours or 7 hours or whatever, wherever you're going. And then you get off the flight and then you're in a small car because the car is picking everybody up, So it's like that takes its toll on your joints just as much as the wrestling does. So you got to pick and choose what you're going to do because you want to try to last as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, the traveling is a killer because again, I suppose in the UK, if you're doing it domestically, like British wrestlers have it easier, but in Canada and the States, I mean, you on planes getting from one side of the country to the other, you know, from the east side of Canada or whatever to the west coast of America or whatnot, you know, the crazy miles that you guys are doing. It's just insane, man. I mean, to what Jordan said earlier, you really have wrestled. You know, I was trying to refresh my memory, and we're talking about like the Ring of Honor DVDs and the VHS, bro. Like, I've still got strong style tapes of the pay-per-views of Ring of Honor that I still watch to this day. That are like, you know, that's how we got them in the UK.
Yeah.
It was like the strong style tapes. You know, that's what we had. You know, and it was a lot of the times you could buy them at wrestling events from wrestlers that were come over, and they'd bring DVDs or VHSs to sell sort of over here. It's wild. Like, and the people that you were wrestling, like say, you know, JB said it earlier, you know, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, you know, all these people that literally like were on Tommaso Ciampa, you know, Adam Cole, you know, like all these people are sort of, you know, you were working with these guys sort of, you know, 15 years ago. You know, it's insane, dude. Like, it's fucking wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, you had a good time in Ring of Honor, would you say? I mean, that was sort of...
Yeah, I really did. You know, I can't complain about any of my time. I think my least favorite time was Impact TNA, and that's not because of anything other than, and this is going to sound very egotistical, but there was very few people that had the experience I had. So I was working extra hard to make them look good and bring them to my level because I didn't want to dumb myself down, which makes the workload much more difficult and frustrating sometimes, you know? Like if I worked with Brian Cage or Rich Swann, or when they brought in Marufuji, Eddie Edwards, like that, those were easy because they know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. We know what each other do. So that's what I like, because you can be free out there. When you're free out there, you're in the moment. When you're in the moment, people get captivated by it because they don't see those wheels spinning, thinking what's next or what you're supposed to do. But when you're focusing on your opponent and the referee and yourself, because they're not as comparable as you're used to,
right,
it's much more difficult in there, and it becomes more like a job. Don't get me wrong, wrestling was a job, but it was a job that I enjoyed so much that you didn't look at it like a job. But when you get into those type of situations, it's like, well, I'm earning my pay tonight, aren't I?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you teamed with Jeff Cobb as well, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy, the people that you've worked with. It's just insane. I mean, I couldn't remember them all. I've literally had to sort of write them down as I was, you know, they're popping into. We were talking about it earlier. Like, it's absolutely insane. You did a bit in Mexico as well for what, a year and a half or so? Was it a bit longer than that?
Almost 3 years. I worked for them almost the entire time I worked for New Japan.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Different, because I mean we trained wrestling for a small while, and from what we heard in Mexico, they worked the left and not the right. Did you have any issues? Was that
other way
so
around?
Funny enough,
other way around. Sorry, work. Yeah,
I knew what you were saying. Yeah,
you know.
So the second wrestling school I attended was a lucha school.
Right.
So it was funny because I went over there for the Grand Prix the first time I went over, and they watched me wrestle and they go, "You know lucha?" I go, yeah. And they're like, "Oh." And then they were like, "Okay, you're going to be like the last 3 in the Grand Prix." And then the next year I came over, they made me win the Grand Prix because they saw that I appreciated their style, and the audience responded to that too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing happened in Japan. I went over to the G1. Dave Meltzer was saying, "I don't understand why Elgin's going. Why isn't it Roderick Strong?" And then within 3 days, they booked me for the World Tag League because they wanted me to team with Ishii. And then by the end of the tour, I was such over as a babyface that they wanted me to team with Tanahashi. And then again, Dave Meltzer's like, well, they're only teaming Elgin with Tanahashi so he can eat all the pins. And I'm like, well, I'll eat the pins because it's Tanahashi, but they want me with him because I'm got over in the G1. Like, you go watch that G1. By my third match was with Okada. The crowd was going crazy for me. And then you go watch me and Ishii at Sumo Hall in the last 3 days, and it gets the best reaction of the whole tournament up in that year, other than like the finals. So it's like, come on, these people are, you can't buy into that bullshit. And it's because I studied wrestling. I started ordering tapes from magazines in 1992. I was born in 1986. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Plus, the TLN network in Canada by like 96 had Lucha AAA on every Saturday night.
Wow.
I have totes in the basement of VHS tapes because if wrestling was on TV, I recorded it.
Man, I want to spend some time digging through them crates in your basement, man.
I have so much stuff.
Matches.
I have between Super 8 tournaments, between All Japan, New Japan, Tori Umon before it became Dragon Gate, CMLL, AAA, old like continental stuff, old Mid-South stuff. I think I have like 2001 to 2005 OVW TV, every TV thing. Like, I was insane with it. Absolutely insane with it. I watched at one point in my life, that's all I did was watch wrestling. There was nothing else on my TV ever.
We've all gone through periods of like that in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, you can see my VHSs behind me right now. But Tony Khan was a huge tape trader, they say. Before, did you ever sort of run into him at any sort of stuff?
I don't think so. I mean, who knows though, right?
Yeah.
Because you just never know who you really met. I don't remember half the people. The one thing I do remember is back in the old AOL chats, I got to speak with Jimmy Rave when I first started training.
Oh, okay.
And I know he had his demons that he struggled with. But that guy talking to a 16-year-old kid with only 2 years of training, he never met or anything. I couldn't ask for a better person to be somebody I communicate. What a sweetheart of a guy he was when I was a 16-year-old. 2 years of experience, really just trying to get my foot in the door anywhere. And he was such a pleasure to communicate with. But outside of him, I don't remember if there was anybody that I would know now that I really traded tapes with or anything.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Rave, I remember watching him, for years, and he was a fantastic worker as well, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was, he could really, really work. It's fantastic, man.
Well, it's funny. If you look at CM Punk, his feud with Jimmy Rave, his feud with Brent Albright, and his feud with MJF are almost identical, just in different places and different times.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you had him and Jimmy Rave had, the I Quit match and the steel cage match, that angle. And then they did very similar with Brent Albright and OVW and very similar with MJF. And that's not a bad thing because they were so stretched apart that I don't think people recalled them.
Yeah.
MJF did a real good job of kind of doing the callbacks to the Jimmy Rave stuff in that feud, though. But regardless of that, there's a lot of positives of knowing where we came from. And to me personally, I think that's why I haven't watched wrestling since WrestleMania. Is we're too far removed from what wrestling is supposed to be. And it's just not what I dreamed of, I guess.
Yes, I mean, I did see a lot of the Jimmy Rave sort of callbacks and stuff. Do you think there's a reason why they didn't some of the stuff, especially like in AEW, like the stuff that they did in Ring of Honor, they tried to pretty much reuse it, not like it wasn't a complete word for word sort of thing, but they tried to reuse it on the bigger stage and it fell flat. Some of it didn't work. Do you think you think they just got it wrong?
Are you saying with the MJF Punk stuff?
No, it's more like the stuff with the like the barbed wire and the boards, and I think they had an exploding barbed wire match, didn't they? They tried to do that, and it fell really flat and stuff.
Yeah, I think that they were just trying to be an alternative to what WWE is, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why it fell flat. Maybe the audience just wasn't as interested in those things as they thought they were. I'm definitely not somebody who bashes AEW's product, not whatsoever. I think they have some of the best wrestlers in the world. Kenny Omega is definitely one of the best wrestlers I've wrestled ever. Young Bucks are fantastic. I don't care what anybody in any level says about them. They are tremendous wrestlers, just absolutely great. And everybody else, Adam Page, all those guys that I worked with throughout the years, I want AEW to succeed. I'll always have some love for wrestling, no matter what. It's part of me. So the stronger it is, I mean, even though TNA royally fucked me over, I don't want them to fail, because other people who had the dream that I had as a teenager, I want them to have multiple places. Because when I broke in 2022, I mean, TNA and Ring of Honor were just starting. So they weren't real entities yet. So you only really had WWE because ECW had closed, WCW had closed. The indies weren't really hot yet. Ring of Honor and TNA were both, infants at the time. So AEW and WWE, and hopefully TNA's partnership with WWE elevates them more. And then we got 3 really strong promotions in the United States that people can get TV experience and make good money and live their dreams. So I don't know what's fallen short for who or why, but I hope that whatever they do moving forward just has them always on an upwards trajectory, because I would love that for aspiring wrestlers. Like I said, I think too many people are afraid to follow their dreams. And when people do, it's just like a hell yeah for me, because I was one of those people. I was one of those people that everybody said, "Oh, you're not going to do that when you grow up. Don't be silly." And I was like, "Oh, really? Well, I'm definitely going to do that when I grow up."
I mean, that's perfect, isn't it? Like, absolutely perfect. Like, I mean, even Chris and myself, it's a different dream that something, from something we started when we were training, a long time ago. But we sit and we talk about wrestling like all the time, and we get to talk about it. We get to talk about it with people like you, and that's like it is a different dream, but it's a hell of a way to keep things alive.
Yeah, when you get to do things that you love, it just makes life more enjoyable. Like it really does, because life isn't always fair. Life isn't always easy. But when you get to have something that you cherish and you love, and that can be your escape from life, like I think that saves a lot of people, man.
Absolutely right. I mean, it would be silly of us not to talk about Impact and what happened there. You've been on X recently, and you've been talking about.
It hasn't just been recently. I've been saying the same shit
of course,
since 2020, but people didn't want to pay attention, and now finally some people are paying fucking attention. And then the people who didn't pay attention and want to hate on me go, "You're a liar. Why are you changing your story?" It's like, no. There's fucking tweets and YouTube videos from 2020 that say the exact same shit I'm saying now. So
TNA's wild, because I think we've said on the podcast before, like, I've been a huge TNA mark for years, right? In the UK, we used to have it on free TV.
Mm-hmm.
It was on like a channel called Bravo. I don't know if you have it in the
we had Bravo in Canada. I don't know if it was the same Bravo, but we did have a Bravo channel in Canada.
We also had it on Challenge, which was a game show network.
Challenge TV, yeah. So it was on Bravo, and then it was on Challenge TV, and we had it, and it was like, man, the TNA was fucking crazy, man. We were watching matches. We had like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Sting, Kurt Angle, Booker T, Scott Steiner. We had, it was insane what we were able just to watch.
I ordered every goddamn pay-per-view when that company started.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday night.
The week
because
wow.
Oh yeah, because 1, it was pro wrestling, but 2, I was a tape trader. So I knew AJ Styles from NWA Wildside. Like, I knew him from Wildside more than I knew his brief run in WCW.
Yeah.
I knew Christopher Daniels from like the Super 8 tournament and the King of the Indies tournament in California. I knew Bobby Roode from the Indies in Canada as a fan growing up. You know, I knew Amazing Red from CZW. I knew all the young talent. I wasn't tuning in for the guys that they were using that were ex-WWE talent.
Yeah.
I was tuning in for Low Key, Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles, Psychosis,
Yeah.
like that group of guys. So I was a huge fan of TNA. Like, I mean, they had Austin Aries was always great, but I was a fan of his from Ring of Honor, right? But I'd known so many of these guys from tape trading because there was one time where CZW was really hot, not just for hardcore stuff, but for wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? IWA Mid South. I mean, the Ted Petty Invitationals, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, unbelievable stuff. I mean, Joe versus Necro, like, people forget how big CZW and IWA Mid South used to be. And I know it's because it's changed ownership and DJ has a bad rep with people and Ian has a bad rep with people. But I've known Ian for 20 years. He's never treated me wrong. He did, in fact, owe me some money. And funny enough, just the other day, he sent me a little bit. He goes, I know it's not what I owe you, but here's some. And I was like, that's the person I know. I'm not saying that he didn't have poor interactions with other people. I can't speak about his interactions with other people. But he's been as solid to me as anybody in my career has ever been as solid to me. So I'm never gonna like that's just who I am. And that's why before we came online, hey, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Fuck no. Because I'm not hiding anything. And people who do hide stuff, and this is to you, to anybody that just sees my name and wants to see what I'm saying. If you do not say what you mean and live life the way you really want to live it because you're afraid, you're a pussy, a coward, and fuck you. There we go.
Yes, dude.
I'm sick of it.
I
I
like
am.
it.
I decided, I don't want to say what, but on Tuesday, which funny enough was the day all my tweets were going out, something happened and I decided, you know what? I'm not living by these fake rules people make up for me anymore. Because why? Why? I'm fucking miserable when I live like that. Miserable. You know, you be good to me, I'll be good to you. But the second you fucking cross me, I'm coming after you. And if you want to play the victim, then fuck you. I'm going to show you're not the victim. You started antagonizing me, and now I'm coming after it. Because too many people are too comfortable being able to say and do whatever they want without repercussions. And I'm sick of it. That's made people cowards. Social media is filled with fucking cowards. I promise you. No motherfucker on there that's ever said a bad word about me would ever say a word to my face. And I've proven it because I've seen motherfuckers say stuff and I've been on shows with them and they come to shake my hand. And you know what? I look at them, I go, oh, you want to shake my hand instead of talk that shit you did online? Then they cower their heads and walk away from me. Because they're all a bunch of people that are unhappy in their life. And if they talked about themselves, nobody would listen. So they have to talk about people like me.
Is that anyone in particular you're talking about, or is that?
Yeah,
just,
there's a whole
there's
a plethora of them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I know that sounds egotistical and stuff, but I don't care. I don't care. It's the truth. And people seem to not like the truth anymore. And I'm not saying this my truth stuff. I'm saying the truth. There is a truth.
Yeah.
And if you ignore it, you're a coward. And why you're a coward is because you're afraid that what you think, what you feel is not accurate. But instead of wanting to put shades on and not look at anything except here, you're living a life that's going to be miserable. Why do that to yourself? You know, we're living, everybody's okay being average, but there's only one you. Anybody can be average, but nobody can be you except you. So be you to the fucking fullest.
Absolutely.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah. Absolutely love
As I
that.
said, something switched on Tuesday. It was just like, why the fuck am I pussyfooting around everybody? That's not me. And with that said, I am not homophobic. I'm not transphobic. I'm not, I'm Canadian, so I don't even know what the fucking difference is between right wing and left wing. Like, I'm none of those things that people get shit on for saying or fighting. You know what I mean?
Right,
About
yeah.
like, I'm not those things, but I want to be genuine to myself, because if you don't like me being genuine, then I don't fucking need you around me or in my life at all. Because the people I do have around me know how solid I am, know who I am, and I can count on them for anything because they know that they can count on me for anything. Big circles are just a mirage to feel important. Small circles are when you're confident. That's why any motherfucker that's confident, successful, and happy, they don't mess with a lot of people. They really don't. And that's because they learn that most people only want to be your friend if it benefits them. And once it stops benefiting them, you're no longer exist. And not only do you no longer exist, everything you did positive, it's gone. They won't even fucking mention it. And I'm just sick of it. You know how many people have gotten opportunities and jobs because of my word? And those motherfuckers can't say something positive? Fuck them. Fuck them all.
Fuck them all, indeed.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. What are they going to do?
Oh, man.
If they think they're really tough, I'll post my fucking address. Come to my front door. Or buy me a plane ticket. I'll fly to your house. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
They're all cowards. They're all gutless. All of them.
I mean, yeah, I agree. The small circle thing, 100%. It is, yeah. That's the whole. It's an amazing sort of life to lead with a smaller circle, and
Yeah, it's just, as I
I'm
said,
with you.
because people are afraid to be themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't just outwardly hate somebody, but if you're going to attack me in any way and you think that I'm just going to sit and take it, no, that isn't how the world works. It's just not. You know? I'm telling you, if I was an American, I would run for office, and the first law I would put into place is you cannot be charged for assault if you slap somebody who is out of line. Like, that's it. Because all these people do. I mean, I've had it done a million times. Sean Rassap from that fucking Fightful thing. He's a pussy. He called out that Ben Batty guy. There's a video of him threatening to fight him.
Billy,
He said something. I said, okay, we'll talk about it in person. He goes, oh, real tough guy. What, you going to fight me because you're bigger than me? I'm like, I said, let's talk. But you have to be a victim. These type of people. And then the worst is the wrestling space. Let these fucking people in. Sean Rassap trained, was no good, and still wanted to make money off wrestling. Made friends with wrestlers. Those wrestlers were so stupid that they decided to give him dirt so he'll write positive about them. I don't need anybody to write positive about me because they're gonna if they watch me. There's no way you can't. People are not confident in themselves. People need everybody else to praise them. Praise your goddamn self. It's all you need. If you believe it, people will believe it. I don't care what anybody says. Dave Meltzer rated Hulk Hogan versus fucking Rock at WrestleMania 18. What did he rate it? Like a star or something?
3. I think he gave
Unreal.
it 3 or 3.
Yeah.
I was in that arena.
Yeah,
I was in that arena. There's nothing I've been to Game 7 World Series. I've been to a lot of big events. Nothing felt like that fucking arena between Rock and Hogan. The fans pay to see us, which means their money becomes our money if we're good. So why put all your chips in that fucking basket? And that's coming from somebody who has 5-star matches. If you go back and read the observers from 2012 to 2018, it's all praise for Michael Elgin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't need to suck up to him to get that. I just needed to believe in myself. And people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you mentioned Sean Ross Sapp because we're actually friends with Billy Barty. He's been on
Billy's
the
a friend,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like a good friend of ours. I mean, we've been to wrestling shows with him, and we were actually in London with him just after he come back from America, and that shit happened with Sean Ross Sapp. And we knew everything that was going on, and we know that Sean Ross Sapp just talks.
One of Sean Rossap's writers had a story with all the evidence that I cleared my name with. And he said he didn't want to publish it because I would never give him dirt because he's a bitch.
That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. That's like, do you know what? I don't care about the truth. I'm just going to not do it because you've not helped me out.
I put out DMs with Dave Meltzer and Mike Johnson from PW Insider. They don't. John Pollock, Brandon Thurston, everybody that jumps all over all these fucking lawsuits and Brock Lesnar coming back won't clear somebody's name because it doesn't get the same clicks as Evil does.
No, that's it.
I have all the things. I hit up everybody, email them all the evidence. Go look. It's very clear that these people lied, and to this day, people cannot tell me what people said about me.
Well, I mean, it's happened numerous times, where people have been accused of things and it's ultimately come to nothing. But again, when certain times things stick and people are stuck with having to fucking, even though you've got receipts, people just still talking shit, which is wild. It is absolutely wild.
Yeah, man, they don't understand. Like, I had a 3-year, $400,000 deal on the table that they fucked up me over for.
Who's just Impact?
Well, the deal wasn't with Impact, but them publicly saying they were going to investigate when they announced that they fired Dave, Chris, and Joey Ryan.
Right.
And then 3 days later telling me they're not going to investigate because they're trying to rebuild the company. And if they clear my name, they're afraid of social media backlash. So they're just going to sit me home and pay me for the remainder of my contract rather than put me on TV. Then they publicly announced we have removed Michael Elgin from TV. Yeah. Which, when 3 days later they announced they're going to investigate, then they announced that, it makes people believe that they investigated, found that something happened, and I'm a fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't make any sense. They fucked me over royally. Like, you don't understand. It's just like, fuck them. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck. Why would you do that to somebody who, when he was there, and I stand by this, was the absolute best worker on the fucking shows with my stint there? There was nobody on that roster better than me. I would say me and Eddie Edwards were equal. Everybody else was not as good as us.
Who led the investigation? Was it Scott?
There was no investigation.
Well, who said? Yeah, they said they were going to do the investigation.
Don and Scott did,
and there was nothing.
And Don told me about the investigation because he said, "Don't worry, we'll fight you for you." Because I had somebody say something about me, and they investigated and cleared me. Then when that bullshit happened, I started doing my research because I'm about to use that against them because they won't want to show that they actually did investigation, because I found out that NDAs were signed and releases were given and a special call was made to WWE to get those two people signed so they didn't fucking sue the company for having to sign the NDAs and stuff. So there's a lot of fucking dirt there. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. And Scott is a terrible person. So fuck them both.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, I mean the NDA.
Scott D'Amore is a little jelly donut eating nerd.
Dude, in that 20 seconds there, you just said so much stuff, and my brain just nearly exploded. Like the way it was just like, okay, so WWE gave them a contract, so then they wouldn't speak out about such and such. It's fucking, that's wild. Again, that is absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying that WWE did not have interest in them.
Sure.
But I think the call was made to say, hey, these guys are no longer under contract. I'm not saying that, I don't want that to come across, because I think Scarlett and Cross are, I mean, I traveled with Scarlett almost her entire Ring of Honor run that I was there.
Right.
Because she was from Chicago, and me, Truth, Jimmy Jacobs and all those guys would do AAW in Chicago, which is where Scarlett started getting noticed. So
Yeah.
she would drive with our crew everywhere. And my time with Cross, I mean, I was sent to Canada for a 2-week tour to work with Cross right before I joined TNA so that he could learn from me. And he was such a great guy that whole time. I mean, I traveled with him the whole tour. I worked with him a bunch. Great human being. I love the guy. So I don't want anybody to misinterpret that like they only got their jobs because of this. No, 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 no.
Sure.
It's just the knowledge was given. Hey, these guys are free and clear to sign. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, have you watched his the documentary that he's got online at the moment?
No, honestly, I watch nothing wrestling anymore. No, because I it's like shackles are on me when I watch it.
Okay.
And I want to be free, A lot of pain is still there, man. Like,
Sure.
that was half the reason, and I'm not. I'll be honest because I don't give a fuck anymore. The accusations themselves were influenced by somebody. So the accusations happened while I'm going through a divorce, which should lead you to know what happened. And then my son's being kept from me. So in 2021, with the fact that, okay, my son's being kept from me, but I can't go and wrestle to release all that frustration. Because why people believed I hurt people, even though I didn't, was because everything that ever pissed me off in life came out in that ring through my body language and facial expressions. So you can't do that. COVID's happening, so you're not allowed in gyms. Going through a divorce, kids being kept from you. And I almost blew my fucking brains out in 2021 because of it. And then I snapped out of it. And things have been great since, and things have been even better lately. But like I said, there was influence to the women to falsely accuse me online. That's why it was never accused that I sexually assaulted somebody or I raped someone or I hit someone. It was all mental and emotional shit because people would jump on anything. And that's harder to disclaim. But when they're saying that I said things on text and then I just release a YouTube video with the entire text, people can see, oh, wait, that girl's actually trying to sexualize, sexual talk with him. And he's trying to say, no, I don't want that from you. I don't, you know what I mean? And it's like, it just drives me nuts. So, sorry, I get on tangents because now I feel free. I don't have to be the PR, you know what I mean? Like, listen, and before I even say this, I want to say this. I do not know Joey Ryan's situation. I do not know if he is innocent or guilty. I do know that anytime I was around Joey, he was always good to me. I never saw any inappropriate actions. But I'm guaranteeing you, because if you go and look at his apology, like, oh, I definitely, was too promiscuous and I can't determine how the girls felt, even though I thought it was sensual, whatever. That was a PR thing. So then when he tried to come back recently, people were like, oh, we're going to let you back after you admitted something. And it's like, what? Matt Hardy in 2014 got in a fight with Rebby Hardy and arrested, but he has a TLC match coming up in fucking TNA and he's a tag team champion. Mm-hmm. Steve Austin got loud ass cheers against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, and he beat up Deborah and ran from the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're picking and choosing, and it's like, well, he admitted he did wrong, but he didn't admit anything legal. So now he went away for 5 years and you're not going to let him back? Like, what do these people really want from you? And that's why from day one, as a matter of fact, it was Dawn that asked me to speak to a PR agent because he wanted me back to TV because Kenny Omega wanted to wrestle me during his run. And I talked to some PR person like, well, you got to admit to something. I'm like, I'm not admitting to anything because I didn't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't how this works. And with that said, I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. Not by a long shot. I've made plenty of mistakes. Sure. But my mistakes have never been harmful to women. They've never been harmful to anybody else. They've never been racist. They've never been homophobic. The only person they ever negative affected me was me. And I understood that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take my lumps if I deserve them. If I do something wrong, I might not admit it right away, but I'll change actions, then I'll admit it, and I'll take my lashings. But it's just outrageous, really.
Yeah, I mean, we can't speak for the hypocrisy amongst wrestling fans, internet wrestling fans, all of that stuff. I mean, it's pretty
fun.
grim. It's grim
Yeah,
out there. It's
fucking
awful.
grim.
Yeah, we're
It's grim.
yeah.
As I said, it's just like, what do you want blood from a stone, right? The same people that made it so Jay Briscoe couldn't appear on national TV, then fucking bitched that he was never on national TV after he passed away. And I want to say, I'm not trying to use Jay as a tool in this. I love Jay Briscoe.
Stating the fact. Yeah.
One of the best people I've ever met. Never, what a father, just what a human being, what a wrestler. But the facts are facts. You know what I mean? The same people that used to bitch about him then were complaining that he never made it on national TV when it was their fucking fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there is a massive there's a horrible part of wrestling fandom which will destroy.
They want to be part of the show.
Well, yeah,
they don't want to put in the work, but they want to be part of the show. So what do? They start their little groups and they do all this stuff. Then they say, "Oh, I'm at a wrestling show to be a wrestling fan, not to be hit on by my OnlyFans." Like, what? Get the fuck out of here. Everybody out there is manipulating somebody. I'm telling you. I've seen it all happen. I've taken note of it because I'm writing a book, which is not strictly an autobiography, because it's crazy how society works with social media. These people are fucking insane.
You're also doing a short film as well, right?
The short film, yeah. I'm hoping to film that in September. I'm just waiting for one actor to get back to me. Right. But yeah, I just like working on stuff because I need a creative outlet. I strive on creativeness and human emotion. And with the right stuff, you can gather and garner that human emotion. So,
I mean, that's fantastic because I mean, wrestling itself is an emotional thing. It's like if you
supposed to be. It's
supposed to be. Yeah. You actually, I stand corrected. It is supposed to be an emotional thing.
Like you don't. I don't. Oh, it blows my mind. It had already happened because WrestleMania 2 happened like the year I was born. But I remember watching the VHS tape and thinking there's no way that Hulk Hogan can beat King Kong Bundy because King Kong Bundy broke his fucking ribs.
Mm.
It was like, holy shit. And that's not a great match, but watching it on a VHS tape, I was emotional about it. That fucking, you know what I mean? Oh my God. Can Hogan survive this? It's like you want to drive emotions. You want hatred, happiness, sadness, bitterness, whatever emotion you want the people to feel that, because if they feel that, then they relate to you. So let me ask you something. Each one of you, what's your favorite song?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Right now, just because I know my son might try and sneak a watch of this, I'm going to say Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Okay, but why is that your favorite song?
I don't think I could tell you, to be fair. When do you
listen to it? Do you listen to it because you want to feel something? Like, do you listen to that when you're sad, when you're upset, when you're frustrated? Because we often pick our favorite songs. No. This is something I usually do with people, because if usually you pick your favorite song, and that's your go-to song in moments, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy. Let's celebrate with my favorite song. I'm upset. Let's put on my favorite song to feel better. So it's like you relate to that song or that movie or whatever it is that you pick in those times. And that's what wrestling is supposed to be. We're supposed to be emotionally connected to the pro wrestler we love. And there's not that emotional connection all the time anymore. And that's upsetting, because that emotional connection is what makes you a fucking hero. Right? I do not condone what Hulk Hogan said and how he acted in those moments. I don't know Terry Bollea. I only know Hulk Hogan as a wrestling fan and somebody that did 2 shows to him, and he was 2 shows with him, and he was phenomenal. I do have a story about that if you guys are interested later. But that's why they put a special on Fox. And that's why New Japan and WWE had these 10 bell salutes, because people had an emotional connection to the character Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So he's always going to be remembered by a certain group of people because he had an emotional reaction. But then you get hated for that. It's like, man, I don't know Terry Bollea, and I don't agree with racism. So fuck that. But I can't deny that I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking with you two if I wasn't born in '86 and Hulkamania wasn't running wild.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I remember, Sergeant Slaughter burning up his face, and I was genuinely upset. I asked my folks at the time, I was like, he's burned his face. He's burned his face. Like, it was.
I was, I think, 4 years old and attended WrestleMania 6.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Right? So it's like, come on, man. This was, as I said, I think that's what frustrated me most and what put me at such a low point was because I literally dedicated my fucking life to this. I mean, my life. Like,
Yeah.
kindergarten, I'll never forget. Roddy Piper t-shirt was the old one that had the red, on the sleeves and the collar. Roddy Piper on the front. And the cute thing used to be the kindergarten teacher asked every student what they want to be when they grow up. And people were saying princess and firefighter, police officer. I'm a hockey player, baseball player. Oh, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. That was just what was going to happen. In the 8th grade, we got suspended so much for wrestling at recess that the principal gave us Wednesdays 2 hours after school on the gym mats to practice pro wrestling.
That's
insane.
amazing.
I'm not kidding. He's like, are you guys going to stop? And we all said, probably not. We're not hurting each other. It's not like we're fighting.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, well, we got to figure this out. I go, it's not like we're out there actually fighting. We're just messing around, having fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, we'll go after school for 2 hours. You guys can put down the gym mats. My best friend at the time, well, one of them, Amanda, her mom made us like titles for it. It was fucking great, man. I lived this like wrestling for forever. If I meet people in real life and people forget my name, I wasn't Michael, I wasn't Aaron. It was like, oh, the wrestling guy. Like, I work out at the local gym. It's the people don't know my name, they just know I'm the wrestling guy. Like, that was me for so many years. It was really part of my identity. And that was hard to get over, not just because it was part of my identity, but I loved it so much. And I put a lot into it. And because it became financially profitable for me, I missed funerals, birthdays, my son's first steps, my son's first words. His mom wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, which made I had to make more money. But I was okay making more money because even though I was missing my son, I was at least doing something I loved. So it was a whole different thing, And that's a tough thing to overcome.
I mean, it did feel like you were ready to like break out and become this huge star. I mean, you did Chris Van Vliet, for fuck's sake. Like, you're on, Chris Van Vliet is huge. Like, he's the.
I would be in WWE
Yeah.
in a main event scene right now.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Like,
I don't either.
If you look at the wrestlers that use my stuff on TV. I started doing the fall away Samoan drop with 2 guys in 2003. The block, the tornado DDT, pick them up into a suplex spot that everybody does?
Yeah.
I started doing that in 2003.
Fuck, man.
All the deadlift stuff that everybody does now. Bronson Reed is big Bronson Reed and does a fucking spinning power bomb. Seth Rollins does the buckle bomb as a setup.
Yeah.
Who started that? Everybody uses my shit. But people won't give me the credit for being as influential as I was.
Well, no one's offering someone $400, K over 3 years or for 3-year deal, whatever. If they're not influential, if they're not.
Oh, it was per year.
Yeah.
It was 400,000 per year.
400. Yeah,
$1.2 million I lost out on because of false accusations that people can't even tell me what people said. Do you guys know what people said about me? Do you want to hear?
I mean,
You want to know how my fucking career ended because they did it through the right time and somebody who might have wanted to keep somebody that I love almost more than anything in this world away from me put them up to saying this shit online?
yeah.
Okay, you want to know?
Sure.
Jacqueline Gage, okay? She said to me, or said online, that I was abusive because I cheated on her, called her fat, and led her on to have a serious relationship. I never called her fat. Why would I if I'm hanging around her? Did I cheat on her if I'm leading her on to saying we have a serious relationship? Can you answer those two questions for me?
Don't make sense.
Doesn't.
And is cheating abuse?
No.
No. Is leading somebody on abuse? Because women will do it at the bar to get free drinks.
Yeah.
Can I go to the police and go, sir, this girl had me buy her 6 drinks but never went home with me or never gave me her phone number?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you fucking do that? But I didn't lead her on because all the texts are on my fucking page.
Yeah.
She's the one trying to apologize to me for talking shit online. I just posted it on X. And then the second girl said, I shared a bed with him in 2011. And he got close to me and put his arm around me. And I said no, and he stopped. But years later, my friend said that was attempted sexual assault. And that isn't even what happened. Because Zach Gowen, Truth Martini, and this wrestler Jeff Brooks were in the fucking room with us. And what happened was she stayed at the hotel. We went out to a club. I came back drunk. I was joking around. Now, when I say I was joking around, if she had said yes, I probably would have done it, even though she's not very good looking.
Sure.
I was drunk, come in the hotel, and I said, hey, want to have sex? And she goes, no. I was like, okay then. And then I went to sleep. But she's trying to make it something. And it's like, really? That's what nobody said I hit them. Nobody said I fucking sexually assaulted them. No one said I raped them. But yet I'm classified as all these fucking things.
Yeah.
And then I break up with a girl and she knows that people hate me online. So then she lies about me online too. Then she finds out that I'm dating somebody she met while we were dating and thought I was cheating on her while we were dating with this girl, even though she lived 4 hours away, and called the police and filed a fake police report, which no charges were ever filed, but nobody remembers that. And then Simon Gotch, who got pissy because he thought he was going to Noah to be a top guy, and they wanted to put the world title on me after they put the tag titles on me. So when I had the issue, which I've explained a million times, he fucking called somebody and said I'm banned from the country for stealing protein. Why the fuck would anybody steal protein in Japan when the dojo has a reserve of protein for all the guys? It makes no fucking sense. But in America, nobody knows because all the wrestling fans and any wrestler that was saying anything ain't ever making it to Japan unless they pay for them to go over there and buy a ticket at the door.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I told Dave Meltzer I would pay him to run an FBI background check on me, which would check internationally if I have ever been charged, ever. But he wouldn't.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why do you think?
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want people to go, oh, he's defending Michael Elgin, so I'm not going to react to his Twitter.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I know. That guy has a face for radio, though, doesn't he? Dave Meltzer? Ooh.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I mean, I don't. He doesn't like us, so yeah.
He does not like us at all. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure his wife had to put a paper bag over his face if they ever had love.
It's just crazy, isn't it?
So you DM'd all the news guys, all the dirt sheet, all the the guys that call themselves journalists, and did they ever respond, or was it just a flat like?
Some responded and acted like they were going to do something, and then never did. Most of them just didn't respond. Mike Johnson's a little bitch. He blocked or he restricted me from messaging him after. It hurts their bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't clear people's names, because if they do, then people will bitch at them, and they're all. I mean, look at them. No offense. I'm going to be honest. Do you think that Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer, Mike Johnson, John Pollock, and all these people are where they want to be in life? They might be making money doing something, but they're following the things they really want to do. Brandon Thurston was a wrestler, but now he talks about wrestling because he wasn't good enough to make it. Sean Ross Sapp trained for a bit, couldn't make it. Mike Johnson is uglier than Dave Meltzer.
Meltzer likes to be buffed up as well and think he looks like and wants to look
Well,
like
he's a decent shape. And you know what? Any
Yeah.
of my personal interaction with him face to face have been great. But his fucking cowardice in not doing what was right by me, fuck him.
Yeah. No,
You know, that's all. I
Yeah.
never had a crossword with him. I actually liked him. He was always nice with me. He would try to talk in a way to try to get dirt. But when you're smart and you are in professional wrestling since you were 14 and broke in the business when there were still really carny motherfuckers around, you learn when somebody's trying to work you.
Yeah.
Right? There's an old saying, you can't work a worker, but there's so few workers left that everybody gets worked.
Yeah. That's fucking even that 10 seconds there is just crazy.
Yes.
You can't work a worker, but there's no workers left, so everyone's getting work. Dude,
it's the truth.
Fantastic interview. I mean, in a way, you've got to laugh though, man, because if you don't, it's fucking tragic, dude. Really, you know. And we
you know what? I laugh my ass off. Do you want to know why? First ever Ring of Honor live pay-per-view. Guess who was in the main event? This guy won the world title. First ever ladder match in New Japan. Who was in that? Me, won the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Who is one of now 5 foreigners to win the CMLL World Cup, and it's the longest running promotion in the world? Me. The other names are Val Venus, Norman Smiley, Alex Shelley, and Claudio. So what's going on? 2006, Dragon Gate six-man tag, Ring of Honor 5-star match. There was not another one until who? Me and Davey Richards.
Yeah.
New Japan starting to get all these 5-star matches. Guess who was in that first little run? Me and Naito. So I laugh my ass off because they're trying to act like. I literally see people. Oh, Michael Elgin wasn't even that good. Do we have different definition of good?
That's fucking outrageous.
Yeah. Like, that's not what that is.
And again, I even laugh at that because there's no. I mean, I wouldn't have accomplished what I accomplished because it wasn't like I was fucking 6'5" and looked like fucking Brock Lesnar. Right? I had to be talented to make it. As a matter of fact, think about how hard it was to get from Canada to the independents because of work visas. My era of breaking in, do you want to know who else? Because the guy's after me. But from my era in my area of Ontario, and I'll even add Quebec, of guys that made it into the States in top companies. Can you think of anybody with me?
So what year are we talking? Like 2010?
I started in 2002. So I'll give that 2000 to like 2002 range.
Right.
2002 was working in the US at that point. Canadians.
Well, I mean,
well, not necessarily in that time, but it was Canadians that ended up making it eventually to places.
Yeah.
Like Robert Roode?
No, he was before me.
I think you got Peter Williams was maybe a little bit after that. Was that right? Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, he was around that time, but he was a little bit after.
Yeah. I think that sort of early era.
I'll tell you right now, Kevin Steen, El Generico, Cody Deaner, and Sean Spears, and me.
Cody Deaner. I forget
Teddy Hart around then as well.
Yeah,
maybe, but he was like the far side of Canada.
Yeah, okay.
But the point was to even get a look in the States, you needed to get a work visa. To get a work visa, you needed a company to sponsor you. But why sponsor somebody unless they're better than people that are in the States?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Guess who was the first one to help out Josh Alexander and Ethan Page? Well, they were fucking hated by everybody, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Me, I was the one. I got heat 3 years into the business when they started because I liked them so much. But I didn't give a fuck because they were good and I was good. So what is this heat gonna do? It did nothing. It did nothing. And I only had heat with people in Ontario because I was confident. And confidence to somebody who's not confident looks like ego.
You look like you're cocky or whatever, you know? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're not confident in yourself, then you don't understand how confidence looks. I didn't go around saying I was the best, but I had good matches.
Yeah.
And the crowds were reacting. But I was new, so I was on the first 3 matches. And then the main event guys will be pissed because I had good matches and now the crowd's dead for them. Or they just weren't good enough.
God, heaven forbid a good professional wrestler has fucking self-confidence. Jeez.
I'll never forget, I was on a tour in Winnipeg. And me and this guy, Phil Atlas, opened the show. And Jimmy Jacobs was wrestling Mentalo the match after. And after the match, Mentalo came to the back and he was pissed. Pissed. Well, if the first fucking match didn't do this, we would have the reaction. And Jimmy comes back. He's like, bro, we just couldn't follow it. Like, it's like, Jimmy's cool. Mental had an ego. I don't have an ego. You put me on first. You're paying me. Do you want me to work like shit for you?
Yeah.
I didn't put myself on first.
Yeah.
That's not my fault. If you're booking me means you know what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
Either tell me to dumb it down or tell me to have a great match. And everybody wants you to have a great match.
There's a reason why Rey Mysterio was the first match on so many WrestleManias. And it wasn't because they wanted him to go out there and just to warm people up. He went out there and fucking got people fucking on it. You know, that was it.
I mean, SummerSlam 2002 is
incredible.
one of the best opening matches of all time. It's up there.
Yeah.
But have you guys watched Great American Bash 88 with the Brainbusters versus Sting and Nikita Koloff?
Yes.
I think that's the best opening match of all time.
Okay.
We've been nicknamed the princes of previous pay-per-views because we started this channel watching like really old pay-per-view events. Like I think the first one we did was the first ever Survivor Series.
Okay.
And with
the big fucking 12-man tag match with all the tag teams.
Good.
Yeah. And like
40 minutes.
Yeah, and it had like a really great women's match on there, like the Jumping Bomb Angels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, fucking great matches on there.
You know, people probably don't even know the fuck Jumping Bomb Angels are.
Yeah.
They probably don't.
Remember when I was running my school, I had girls, and I would always tell them to watch Miami Toyota, and they'd look at me, and I was like, I understand you're young, but if I want to do something, and I had imagine having a phone back in the day like this, where I didn't have to bring 15 totes of VHS tapes from Canada to my house in the United States.
Yeah.
Because I had access to it, and you don't fucking know who Miami Toyota is. I have an 8-hour best of compilation of her, for fuck's sakes.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. Because I remember when those 8-hour VHSs came out, people would start making 8-hour compilations, and they were a hot ticket item.
Fucking long play, baby.
Yeah, long play, man.
That's
good shit.
Oh man, don't, because I want like say there's so many people that have just missing out on things like the Jumping Bomb Angels, and you know that
so much stuff. Some people don't even know the greatest professional wrestler of all time.
Go on, man. Who?
Kenta Kobashi.
Kenta Kobashi.
Kenta is a fucking he's a beast.
Literally, I'm not kidding. My first tour of Japan, he did commentary at Corrigan, and I waited for 3 hours after the show to get his autograph to take a picture with him.
Wow.
3 hours. Wow.
He's my favorite wrestler of all time. He's my number one guy.
I mean, I've fallen into some serious rabbit holes in the early hours of the morning watching.
Did you watch that Wrestle Colin guy's documentary on him?
No, I've not.
Do it. Wrestle Colin or Wrestling Colin on YouTube. If you can't find it, shoot me a message. I'll send it to you. What a documentary.
He's done other documentaries on other people though. I have seen other documentaries on that, but I've not seen the Kenta one.
Ooh, the Kabashi one is the fucking. I'm telling you, he's my favorite. I almost flew myself to Japan for his retirement match.
Wow.
Oh man,
that's how much. Yeah. He was that big of a deal to me.
Fuck.
I mean, yeah, and you worked Noah as well. Like, I mean, was there much crossover with him? Like, or had he already?
No, but he did commentate one of maybe my favorite match of my career against Daisuke Sakamoto in Big Japan.
Okay,
I mean, that's fucking awesome, right?
He did a commentary, and guess what the finish of that match was? Burning Hammer.
Yeah, that makes...
Nothing. That's the and we won Indie Match of the Year in Japan for that, and we were the front cover of the magazine.
Wow. Did Meltzer give you any stars?
I don't know if he did, but that was my best match. I think that's the best match of my career. The crowd, the anticipation, Sakimoto being so fucking good. Yeah, I mean, it was not. It was the first sellout for Big Japan since 2011, and it was 2019.
There's footage out there of it, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the DVDs of it, but I'm sure that you can find it online.
Well, yeah, we'll look that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Hey man, we've got some homework, Chris.
Oh mate, you know what? I'm ready to fall down a rabbit hole again because this is why we created this podcast, because I think they're becoming a bit of a chasm between the era of. I mean, I'm 42 years old, so I'm a bit older. But I mean, Jordan's a bit younger than me.
Sorry,
right?
you're considerably older, Chris. Considerably.
Come on, man. I'm still looking beautiful, baby. What are you talking about? But yeah, like there's a chasm with sort of newer wrestling fans and older wrestling fans where, you know, I think they sort of, the business has changed and the product has changed, but you know, you can still you find some absolute gold from, you know, going back a bit, you know.
What people do wrong is they go, oh, a bunch of headlocks. No, the greatest matches from back then made sense. That's what's missing.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Things need to make sense. Wrestling, when I get an opponent and a finish, what a promoter has just given me is a puzzle. All I have to do is put the puzzle pieces together. But if I try to put the centerpiece up in the corner, it no longer paints the perfect picture. People are not good at putting the puzzle together. They're too worried about getting X amount of stuff in instead of getting in what makes sense where. And that's the hard part of wrestling. The moves are easy. That's easy. But being able to tell a story that manipulates the crowd to react how you want them to react is what's at hand. Like Al Snow used to always say, why plan a match if you go out there and if you're serving steak and they want chicken? Well, I'm so good that I can go out there and if they're asking for chicken, by the time we're done, they want a second helping of steak. Because I know what I'm doing. I know the steps. I know human emotion. So I know what's going to make them react. So I can plan something. I can go out and call it in the ring. I can do both. It doesn't matter to me. But whatever my opponent wants, I'm going to do with them so that they are also comfortable. I'm comfortable in anything. I don't give a shit. I can sleep up until my music hits and we'll go out there and have a great match.
That's some great confidence.
Yeah, but because I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've been so hungover that I get to a show and I'm talking Ring of Honor and been like, hey man, we know each other, right? Yeah. Do you trust me? Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap until the match before. Then we'll come up with a finish and we'll go out there and kill it. And I did it with them. Because when you study the business, I would watch every match at Ring of Honor. So I knew everything that everybody did. And because I knew what everybody did, I knew how their stuff worked with my stuff and my stuff worked with their stuff. If you look at wrestling like a family tree, you guys remember the family tree? You put your name here and then branches off. It's simple. Okay, I got the power bomb. Backdrop, Rana, sweep the feet, sunset flip, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you Rana me, but I roll through, deadlift, power bomb you. You go to sunset flip me, I roll through, try something you do, you know what I mean? And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And then you find out who your opponent is, what they do. So where do they fit? Do they do submissions? So they're going to try to sweep the legs. Do they do a stomp? They're going to sweep the legs. Do they high fly? Then they're going to Rana. Right? Do they do a DDT? Well, then they're going to come through to the DDT.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's very fucking simple. Now, when I say that, it's the most difficult thing I ever did to make it the easiest thing I ever did. But now, because I did that, it's the easiest thing I ever did.
Because you put the work in. That's the thing. It's putting the work in to make it easier. That's the thing. You trained and you did, like, if you're a cab driver in the UK, a taxi driver, you do what they call the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Where you literally have to learn all the streets in London and all around the local areas. But because you've done the knowledge, when someone says, oh, I need to go from here, it's like, it's piss easy for you. And you know the quickest route and you know what you're doing because you've done the knowledge before.
Right.
And it's exactly the same.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sure there's no set time, right?
No.
As long as you want to go. Yeah, as long as you
Yeah, because that's the problem with me talking wrestling.
No, it's fine.
Cool.
It's fine.
I can talk forever. And why I'm asking that is I got to put some chew in. Do you guys mind?
Some what?
Some chewing tobacco. Do you guys mind?
No, crack on, man.
Okay, I just need a sec. Yeah, because it's been a long day. And with all the injuries that have been plaguing me this year, sometimes I need to lift me up. I quit chew for like a year and a half. And then I just said, you know what? I'm going to have it a couple times a day. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
That's cool, man. I mean, the closest we have to that in the UK is that bubble gum that they get from America. You know, like the grape flavored chewing tobacco bubble gum, the baseball one. Have you seen it, JB?
No. What's?
It's like it comes in like a little packet, and it's like stringy sort of bubble gum, grape flavor. It's like baseball, but it's like chewing tobacco, sort of, but in a sweet. It's like fucking bubble gum.
Yeah, that's the old like Jesse Ventura from Predator chew.
Yeah.
I chew pouches. They're like little tea pouches almost. And I do that so you don't get the pieces in between your teeth. It's still not healthy, but at least you're not like picking little pieces out, because we got the stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like Redmond. You guys are familiar with Predator, right? The first one?
Yeah.
Man, what a different Jesse Ventura would have never been in movies if that movie came out now. You remember what he said? He offers the chew, because this scene, I love it.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with the use of the F word, which you'll find out. But he goes, "You want some?" And everybody says no. He goes, "You guys are what would he say? Hold on. You guys are a bunch of slack-jaw faggots up in here. This shit will make you a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus." And he pops in his big lipper. And I just thought, man, what a great line. Like, I wonder if he had any influence on that or the writers did. And I want to say that he probably had influence on that line.
Oh, it sounds like something he would fucking say, man. Like, you know, with chewing tobacco as well. You know what? There was a shoot interview, again, strong style tapes, and it was Shawn Michaels' interview, and he's chewing backy during that, and he's just every now and again he's just talking, and then just spitting in the cup, and then just and it's just,
Ric Flair too.
Yeah, man, it's so crazy. Like it just brings these memories back of these old tapes that we used to get, the strong style tapes, and it was all the shoot interviews. You could only get them on VHS.
Well, people used to always go, "Why are you chewing an interview?" And I was like, "Why do you fucking care? Who cares? Like, who cares?" I think somebody made like a Michael Elgin spitter Twitter account. Because every interview I ever did, I always chewed. And I try not to now. As I said, I know it was a bad habit. But I cut down on it. I think why. Well, I know why I started chewing, but why I started using it as like, I think people don't realize when I was 13, I was 300 pounds.
Wow.
So I worked my ass off to get in shape. And there was times through my career where injuries had hit me and I'd gain weight because I'm that person. No matter what I eat, I gotta work out. I gotta do cardio, and I gotta lift weights. And if not, I'll still be muscular, but I'll look more like a power lifter with a gut on me, you know.
Right.
And my legs grow. I don't know how they fucking grow when I'm like they just go nuts. If I don't keep them lean, I can't wear pants. It's just that bad. Um, so like I worked really hard, and sometimes I think I chew because if I'm bored or something, we tend to eat, you know, when we're not hungry. If you're bored around the house, if you're watching TV, I mean, one of my favorite things in the world is having a big old bowl of popcorn with way too much butter, and I get seasoning from Canada, which is usually dill pickle, ketchup, or all dressed. And I dose that fucking popcorn, and I'll watch my favorite movie or a new movie. But I can't do that because it's way too much bullshit, right? So sometimes I chew because of that. And then when I talk wrestling, we all had a routine, right? My routine was I put in a chew, I sit in my seat, I listen to my 5 favorite songs, and then I go talk to my opponent. Because as soon as I know my opponent, all I got to do is put this in, listen to the music, and I got what I want to do that night. I mean, it was so funny. I'll never forget an Impact when me and Eddie had that best of 5 match series. The roster was coming up to us going, "Do you guys talked yet?" No. Like, "You're up in 2 matches." We're like, "Yeah." And then the match before us would go on, and we'd sit down in the hallway, and I'd have my chew in, and Eddie would be sitting on a chair beside me, stretching out, using the massage gun. "What do you think we get this in tonight? What do you think we get this in tonight?" And people were like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then we had a mixed tag match with Valkyrie and Tessa, and they were so confused the first time we went through it. You know what I mean? Because we have to get it out, and then we can slow it down to remind them of it. But when you get to a certain level, that shit's just not stressful. I think CM Punk was the one talking about him and Joe calling their 60-minute match. It's
Yeah.
literally like that when you get to a certain point. And especially when your opponent is at that similar level. It's just so it's fun. It's amusing. You like almost say, and if you have good memory, like me and Eddie had wrestled so many times with Ring of Honor and had such good chemistry that we could build off those matches. And because it was the best of 5, we wanted to give ourselves things we could build off of. And one more thing I encourage you guys to do is watch, and it's going to take a long time because every match is at least like 40 minutes. If you watch all of all the singles matches of Masawa and Kobashi back to back to back to back, it's like a movie because they play off of each match. So it's a continuous build. And that's how wrestling's supposed to be. But everybody wants to do everything at once. And I'm not against high spots. I don't want to sound like Jim Cornette.
Sure.
Even though I love Jim Cornette, it's just, you got to tell a story. A story is what people are attracted to. Okay? Think about it. Think of any movie, any book you like. Think
Yeah.
of the Lion King story. I'm sure you guys know Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you fall in love with at first?
Well, it's like the little kid, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
and his dad, the king, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And then what happens?
the
Heat.
king. Yeah.
King dies, Simba's
Yeah.
gets banned.
Right.
There's the fucking heat.
The heel. Yeah.
Right? There's the heat. And during that heat, the babyface is trying to fight back.
Yeah.
He's learning about life, singing songs with Timon and Pumbaa, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes back, but he can't really get it because that's a hope spot. And then we start going back and forth with false finishes. And at the end, we got the finish. Simba's
Yeah.
king.
That's right.
That's every movie. Rocky. Think of every movie.
Yeah.
That's what storytelling is. Think of any book.
Yeah.
We get introduced to character. Why do we like a character? Why do we hate a character?
Yeah.
The character we like, oh no, we want to see him succeed because we don't like this guy. Oh, it looks like he's gonna come back. No, it looks like he's gonna come back. No. Oh, he fucking stops the bad guy. Is he gonna succeed? But no, the rug gets pulled out again. And then it's tit for tat, and then finally the hero wins.
The
Like,
fucking hero's journey. Yeah.
that's pro wrestling 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody doesn't get that.
It's like my favorite movie, and I don't know if everyone's even seen this movie. It's pretty old now, but it's The Big Lebowski, right?
Hey, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
You know,
movie.
one time after a Ring of Honor show, I think it was Final Battle, I asked Matt Sydal, I said, hey, me and Kyle O'Reilly are going to have a White Russian. You want one? And he looked right at us and goes, you know what? If you had asked me to have any other drink with you, I would have said no. But since you asked for a White Russian, let's go.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Some people call me El Duderino.
El Duderino, you know,
Big Lebowski's one of my favorites.
Fucking fantastic. And in that movie, it's the whole journey of the dude, you know, like the guy's just fucking the most laid back dude. He doesn't want to.
He pissed on your rug, did he not?
Yeah,
did he not?
You know,
John Goodman is so great in that movie.
Those three characters, well, actually, every character in there is just phenomenal and just works with the story. But again,
Coen brothers are great at character development,
and I think a lot of the dialogue was sort of, again, they gave him a script, but they said to him, you know, fucking, you're the dude, you're fucking Walter, you know, you're Donnie, and all the shut the fuck
Walter,
up.
when they're in the restaurant and he's going, my friends didn't die face down in the muck.
It's like that movie for me is like, if
I got the ringer, dude. I got the ringer. It's my old underwear.
I fucking wait. You know what I mean? It's like, if anyone says to me, what's the perfect movie? I will always say The Big Lebowski.
That's in my top 100. I'm such, because, and let me explain this. Because I traveled so much, I had so much time, especially overseas, because you don't speak perfect language.
Right.
I don't really want to do much because I'm focused on wrestling while I'm over there and missing my son. So I would just watch TV, you know, and the night before I would watch matches of my opponent to get ideas. But other than that, I watch TV shows or movies. I'm such a movie buff. Somebody asked me my top five favorite movies, and I was like, I have to give you 100.
Yeah.
Because I'm discrediting one of my favorites by saying this. Like, I just, and that's why I love my journey now with screenwriting and directing and also working on my book, is because I fell in love with the athletic aspect of wrestling because I liked athletics, right? Which, funny enough, sorry, this is how I talk. The reason why I started chewing was I was playing lacrosse in high school, and our coach played for the NLL, the National Lacrosse League, and he would get guys from the Toronto Rock to come practice with us and help us. So they were all chewing at practice. So that's why I started chewing, because I was like, oh, if lacrosse players are doing it, and I'm a lacrosse player, you got to do it. But like I got so engrossed in story, and as great as that story is, man, Jackie Brown, I think, might be
again
the number one.
One of my top fucking movies, man.
What a great, everybody double crossing everybody, and it was so great.
Oh man, fucking.
It could have went every other way. What I really like about Quentin Tarantino movies is in most of his movies, he gives you the character so well that you could make a movie about that character. Like every time I watch Pulp Fiction, I want to write a script about the wolf.
Yeah, because we see him for very little time on screen.
Not only that, he had a handbook, and he was writing out their names of who he was going to help.
Yeah.
Which means he had a whole book of people he helped.
Yeah.
So you could do 2 movies. One movie where that's all he does is clean up, and a second movie where he gets caught And now we wonder, is he going to bargain with this book of all these killers that he had to clean up for?
Man, even the surfer girl the character that lives in the fucking house with...
And Jackie Brown, of course.
Yeah, it's so funny. Even the whole cast in that movie is just fantastic. And the characters, are fantastic. But, you look at the cast, like Samuel L. Jackson, Robert
And
De
he's
Niro,
barely in the fucking thing.
Jane Fonda. Yeah, it's fucking...
No. He's sorry. I was thinking True Romance. He was in that for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, Jackie Brown again, but Pulp Fiction again, one of my favorite movies, another Tarantino.
Pretty much anything from Tarantino, Guy Ritchie, Coen Brothers, Scorsese, and I'm pretty big fan of Ryan Coogler too.
Nice.
Like those are, I'm never disappointed in anything written or directed. I'm a fan of Robert Rodriguez too.
We're talking about sort of like, highbrow movies and that, but however you can see from my t-shirt, I'm a huge like Trailer Park Boys fan as well.
Does the Tin Man have a sheet metal cock?
Yes, right. You know what, dude? It's just a phenomenally written show, and it went for so long, and it's just a shame it stopped when it did.
There's a new season coming out.
I know it's crazy. Yeah.
So when the last season came out, and that was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Kurt Stallion? He was in NXT for a while, Evolve.
No.
So I was one of his trainers, and he was coming back to St. Louis because he's originally from Texas. Like, he moved here to train with me, went back, and then wanted to come back, but he couldn't find a place to rent, so he stayed with me. And it was the week that the new season of the Trailer Park Boys came out.
Oh, shit.
And he said he became a fan of it, not because of the show, but because of my laughter and enjoyment of watching that new season.
Oh, man. Fucking hell. Jim Leahy was just one of the most
fantastic. You want to hear one? Oh, okay.
Yes.
CCW used to be called PWX, and they used to do fair shows.
Yeah.
And we did a fair show in Tillsonburg, Ontario. And I was injured at the time. I just had knee surgery. And I was their champion. And Cody Deaner was the challenger. So I got this guy, Mike Stevens, to be my guy to wrestle Cody Deaner. But the night before, there was a show at night with Leahy and Randy. And during the day, they did promotion for the wrestling. They had me arm wrestle Randy.
No
with
way.
Cody with Randy and Mike Stevens with me.
Fuck.
And you want to know how I booked that arm wrestling match?
Oh my God, please tell me. I'm literally...
So we're going, and we're standstill. And Mike Stevens pulls a cheeseburger out of his tights. Yeah. And Randy's looking at the cheeseburger, and I start beating him. And then Cody Deaner punches Mike Stevens and feeds the cheeseburger to Randy. And then Randy beats me in the arm wrestling match.
Oh man, it was a choice between me wearing this t-shirt or a Randy t-shirt with him with just his fucking gut,
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, fantastic.
But what a great show. You into Letterkenny?
Yeah.
Shoresy?
No.
Oh, watch the Shoresy series.
Shoresy.
Because on Letterkenny, the hockey player Shoresy, and they never show his face because it's the main actor that plays Wayne is also playing Shoresy.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So they made 3 seasons of a Shoresy show, and it's fantastic.
Oh man, I'm on that. Like I say, I'm on it now.
Because it's a Canadian-made show. So is Trailer Park Boys. It has different humor, but is equally as funny, I think.
I think that the reason why Trailer Park Boys is so loved in the UK is because we've got very similar humor. I think because
so Canada was part of the Commonwealth for many years. The Queen is still on our money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So a lot of the thing, like in the States, when I put malt vinegar on fucking French fries, people look at me like I have 3 heads.
Mate, when we have fish and chips over here, you got to fucking smother that shit in vinegar, bro.
You do.
Malt vinegar, right?
Yeah, malt vinegar.
Yes. Yes. Everybody looks at me like I'm nuts. Vinegar on fries?
Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you put some vinegar on it, some ketchup, and you got the perfect French fry.
Yeah, man.
You really do. You
I
really
know.
fucking do.
I know. My wife thinks it's gross. Thinks it's fucking gross.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, it's again.
But you guys don't have poutine, and Canada does.
We do not, and that's a big
And
disappointment.
listen,
yeah.
Other than fish and chips and carvery, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking hate food over there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, we could sit for hours and defend it. We really could, but
we could
like,
try.
it's
Yeah.
And I understand. Listen, I understand. Don't get me wrong. But nothing tastes the same as anywhere else. Meaning, like, if you have Applebee's or whatever in fucking the UK, it doesn't taste like Applebee's you've had in Canada or the United States.
We got Tim Hortons here,
yeah,
bro.
we do have Tim Hortons, but
That I would be interested in trying.
You got Tim's here, bud.
When was that? When did you guys get that? I don't think that was over there when I was over there.
It's been there a few years now.
I literally was in Tim Hortons like fucking 2 days ago, man. Like, we've got
Timmy, see, in Canada we call it Timmy Hose.
Timmy Hose, yeah.
Timmy Hose.
Man, yeah, we got Timmy's over here, but it's it probably doesn't taste the same as.
I mean, donuts and stuff. I'm assuming but regardless, if I'm going to eat any type of food, if I did not have a son when I started New Japan, which I'm thankful I do, my son is amazing. I would have moved to Japan. I love that country so much.
It's one of my places.
It's on the list.
It's literally my favorite place. The people, the food, the culture, the respect. That's what pissed me off when Simon Gotch, that dumb fuck, tried to say that like I would steal something in Japan. I cherish that place. Yeah. The good thing was Juice Robinson told me that when that rumor started, when Gato found out the truth, he went and told all the boys.
Good.
Because Juice told me, he's like, what happened? And he's like, oh yeah, I remember Gato saying that it was a pull down bar and it was your own pull down bar. I was like, yeah, man. And I told him the story. He goes, well, that's fucking crazy. And then when I told him Simon Gotch was the one that spread the rumor, he goes, makes sense. He was a bitch in NXT.
Mate, Simon, I fucking hate Simon Gotch for the reason as well that he talks shit.
I'm jealous of Sin Cara for whooping his ass and throwing a fucking can at his head.
He talked shit about Enzo, man, and it pissed me off.
So, yeah, he buries everybody. He's a piece of shit. And he's got man tits.
That's fucking great, man.
In the IWA, did you ever come across Chris Hamrick?
No.
Damn.
I think I might have done some shows with him, but I never got to work with him.
Chris Hamrick is a big friend of this show.
I love Chris Hamrick.
Yeah.
Every time I've met him, great. The Hamrick bump was fucking fantastic. Like, yeah. I miss that. There used to be like a brotherhood in wrestling, and everybody online says, yeah, because you guys covered up for it. No. You don't understand. When we say there was a brotherhood, if we were at a bar and a fight broke out, all the wrestlers double checked that it wasn't one of us in the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we just had each other's back. I was always like that. Me and ACH used to have a character clash. But when we were out, somebody fucked with them, and I was the first one to stand up. And people were like, why would you do that? I was like, he's one of the boys. I might not agree with him outside of the ring, but he's super fucking talented. And I want him on my team, even if he pisses me off a little bit personally. Like, there used to be a brotherhood. And it's gone. Like, you know, it's a shame.
I mean, Chris Hamrick he's been on the show twice, and he was on once for like 3 hours.
Right.
Just talking. And the last time, it was crazy, JB, wasn't it? Like, it's just stories for days. Like, Chris has fucking been everywhere, wrestled fucking everyone.
Yeah.
But every fucker over that he's ever wrestled.
Literally.
And, like, fucking loved every minute of it.
Of course.
And he's like, you know, like 2 guys from the UK and someone like Chris Hamrick, you wouldn't think would just get on. But it's just we fucking love him, man. He's just like, he doesn't give a shit. He like, he's like you. He just literally he's like, no, this is how it is.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna, and he's another guy that unfortunately, fucking people were chatting shit about him online because of one thing that he said. I think again he dropped the F word on.
There's a videotape out there of AJ Styles calling somebody in the ring a faggot.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
Yeah. Well,
it's just so selective, is what I'm saying. It's just so stupid. And I don't agree with that word. I don't agree with that word. I think it is derogatory. But the thing I find funny is, I remember, I'll never forget, I was dating this girl and her best friend was a trans woman. This was when I was back in Canada. And my girlfriend was like, hey, do you want to go to lunch with Samantha and her friends? And I'm like, of course. And she's like, well, I didn't ask you before because they're all gay people. And I was like, why would I care? I never heard that word used more in my life than those guys calling each other it. And they were all so funny. The use of that word, they were very skilled at. They were cunning linguists with the F word. And I know I've already said it a couple times, but I was referencing something.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just like there's people pick and choose. You know what I mean? Josh Briggs is on NXT and Noah, and he was accused of sending inappropriate pictures to minors. So, like, are we really that fucking mad? Well, we're obviously not.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of backlash recently when he was on the stick. I mean, that was...
Yeah, but being a shitty on the mic, not fucking sending pictures to kids.
Yeah, true, yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, the F word over here is different. I think it's a bit more playful. I don't think it's as offensive over...
Well, it's food here, isn't it?
It's food. Like, we've got meatballs. Like, there's a thing called faggots over here. And they're like meatballs in gravy. And you can go to the local store and just buy...
well, one of the biggest jokes was, "Can I bum a fag?"
Yeah.
Right? Which is, "Can I have a cigarette?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, is that they're...
Do people say that over there still?
Yeah. We don't refer to them as anything else. I'm going for a fag. Like, it's literally... We don't call them...
Yeah.
We either call them a ciggy or a fag. It's literally it. Like, we don't even... we're not like a... Ricky and just we don't smokes. Let's go. It's like, it's literally gets a fag. It literally is. It's it's part of our.
And I understand. Like, I think. Sorry, I only needed it for a little bit, but I think it's interesting. Like, I understand why that word's so offensive, especially the N word, because it was used in derogatory fashion for so long. So I understand why people get very upset about it.
Sure.
And of course, you shouldn't be homophobic and you shouldn't be racist.
Sure.
I myself am religious, and I know some religious people are very against it. I look at it as God's the only one that's going to judge us. So if it's a sin, then that will be taken care of in the afterlife. I'm going to treat people how I want to be treated, no matter who they are. Because it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't care. 2 dudes doing it, 2 girls doing it, trans girl and a guy I don't care. Because it doesn't change my life. So why hate anybody for any other reason other than they're an asshole? Is there gay people I hate? Yeah, not because they're gay, because they're fucking dickheads.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Is there trans people I don't like? Yeah. Why? Because they're dickheads.
Yeah. Oh, you get wankers in all sorts in every in every demographic. There's dickheads. Yeah.
But the problem is with culture now, even if it's just that, if you don't like them, why? Are you racist? Are you transphobic? Are you homophobic? No, maybe they're just a bitch. Like, maybe that's just it.
I mean,
weird. We're in a weird time. I don't know how we got here. We're just having a chat.
You're just having a chat. That's the thing. I say to people, I'm not racist or sexist. I hate everybody equally. So it's like, I don't care who you are. If you're a dickhead, I'll still think you're a dickhead. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the words that have different meanings. Like, for instance, and this is a word that not everybody loves, the word cunt, but we use it in, like, me and Chris will use it with each other.
Constantly.
Look at it. Yeah, look at this.
Cunt's a great word because it can mean so many things when you use it properly, right?
Yeah.
Like, what a cunt he is. And he's a good guy. Or that cunt. He's a bad guy.
It's true.
That's
right?
literally
Like,
it. Yeah, literally it. Like,
it's just like motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you motherfucker. Oh, okay, that's cool. That motherfucker. Oh, okay.
Bad.
Like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
it's
universally
how you
used
say
for
it.
for tons of things.
Yeah. I swear, if JB didn't call me a cunt in our conversation, I'd feel like there was something wrong, and I'd be like, "Dude, you okay?" Like, you know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Man, how did we get here?
Well,
I don't know.
This is
I
what
think we
happens.
just started talking about life because everything that happens in wrestling has been
Yeah.
silly online.
Again,
There are other people that got canceled that deserve it, I'm sure.
we're talking about Hamrick being cancelled for
Yeah.
saying the F word because
Yeah.
we had Hamrick on here for, again, we've had him for a total of probably like 5 or 6 hours on here, and it's one of those things where that happened and a load of people chatting shit online, but then you've got other people in wrestling who have done some pretty fucking horrendous stuff, and they're still around. Like, there's a lot of people that have done some
AEW and WWE both have booked Mike Tyson.
Convicted as well, which makes it kind of worse. Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it make sense.
Yeah.
It's just. I think it's if you're at a certain level, right? Like that's why nobody's ever gonna try to cancel Steve Austin because nobody would give a fuck. Maybe they would now if people actually knew.
I think maybe we might get to a point where that actually happens, man.
I think you see it. You do see the odd.
And I'm not listen
about Austin.
I don't agree with that. But again, I've met him maybe 2 times, and what a fucking dude! Like how he treated and respected me, watched my match, gave me. As a matter of fact, he watched me and Kenny, in California, the first New Japan show over here when we really started getting hot.
Yeah.
So a great guy to me. You know what I mean? So I have no complaints. I'm just saying it's weird how people are they're so picky and choosy of how they react to people that do certain stuff. Like, I don't know that I've ever met Josh Briggs, but I remember seeing the messages of him and a young girl. I would fight him for that. Especially as a father. You know what I mean? Like, and even before I was a father, I would still, if anybody ever did something to a minor, I would kill them probably. One of those, like, those people that chase predators on fucking YouTube to get views?
Yeah.
There's a group here that asked me to join them. And I was like, no, I'll hurt these people.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, you can't do that kind of stuff. That's something that's no good. My best friend growing up, I found out recently that he got busted with child porn on his computer. And I'm glad that I don't live in my hometown because I think I would have went and beat the fuck out of him.
It's fucking crazy. You're not in Canada anymore?
No, I live near St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not moving anytime soon because me and my wife got a almost 11-month-old daughter, and my son's 9, and I doubt his mom's gonna move anywhere. So I'm here for good.
Yeah, man, that's cool, man. What's the temperature like there right now?
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah, it's literally hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toronto's cold most of the time, is it, or no?
No, I mean, we have summer. It used to be. Now it's getting much different. But our seasons for heat were just shorter. Our fall and our spring were colder than most.
Yeah.
So you looked at summer as like July and August, basically, because June you had half the month that was still kind of chilly and then half the month that was good. So It's not that we didn't have a summer. It's just that we ended up having a shorter summer. But now, anytime I talk to my parents back home, it's getting hotter sooner there. So maybe global warming is real. I don't know. I guess it must be, right?
Well, I mean, in Sunnyvale, it's always fucking sun's always shining there,
Yeah.
man.
I don't know. We've almost hit 2 hours here. I mean, we've taken up a lot of your time today. We don't.
Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
We don't want to take we obviously don't want to take the piss, but
it's later there than it is here.
Yeah, that's right. It's 11:30 here. It's almost midnight. Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I got work tomorrow.
Man, do you know what? It's crazy because when we do podcasts like this, it's these sort of chats that we relish and are often the ones that get a better reception because it's just, it's just a chat. I mean, we've had some of the guys we've had on here, like really talking about some sort of real sensitive stuff, man. I mean, we had Max Payne on talking about some crazy shit, and really like emotional stories. It's and those sort of chats are just fantastic. And then we go off on tangents talking about life.
This is a tangent-filled show, like every other week. Like I wouldn't worry about going off on any tangent. Chris does it for like.
That's just how, because like I'm so story-driven in everything I do that if I don't give a complete picture, I feel that it doesn't get. And then when you're falsely accused too, that's also, I think, part of the mentality. You want to give a full picture and then have people decide their reactions, because without a full picture, you don't know the full story, so you react before you know what really happened. And that's all cancel culture is, because like I said, Jacqueline Gage would send me pictures and messages begging me to hook up with her again. But yet I was abusive and I did all these things. Then why were you begging me? It's because I said no. That's all that was. And then Lane, Scott knew she was lying, the one with the attempted sexual assault, because I shared a bed with her and she said I put my arm around her and she told me no, or made sure I knew no, and I stopped. Even if her version of the story was true, which it's not, okay, I stopped. Like, I didn't try to force myself on you. Yeah. I didn't try to, you know what I mean? But again, her side of the story was false, and I can say that because there's witnesses. And also, she accused Joe Doring of stuff because she was from Detroit. He was from Detroit area, and they dated for a while, and it ended roughly. And then she started telling people that Joe Doring beat the shit out of her. And Scott D'Amore banned her from the shows for a couple of years because of that. Because he knew that Joe Doring and his size and her size, if he beat her up, he would have killed her.
Yeah.
And it was just because he broke up with her. So it's just like people are so wild about that stuff. And if they had known all that backstory and actually cared to hear the truth, they would feel differently. And anybody that knows me knows what type of person I am. And any mistake I've ever made, I have no problem sharing it, because I know I didn't do anything that would ever warrant having a criminal record or harming someone else. That's just not me. And if it was, you got to think about it. The shit I went through starting in 2020, almost killing myself in 2021. If I was a violent person, you don't think I would have beat the shit out of somebody throughout those years?
Yeah.
You don't think that if I was that bad of a person that I wouldn't have drove to Nashville when TNA was going to Nashville and beat the fuck out of Scott and Dawn?
Yeah.
But that's just not who I am. I'm not a violent person. I can get angry, but I'm not an angry person. Right? It's just people, as I said, they pick and choose. And anybody can look bad in any situation if you frame it right.
Yeah.
If you guys wanted to, you could frame this and make it sound like I was calling people faggot instead of referencing Predator or AJ Styles saying it in the crowd. I think it like PWG or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you could make that look bad, But when you see the whole story, I will say that word if I'm repeating it of a story of somebody saying it or reciting a movie, because that's supposed to be entertainment. It's not real.
Yeah.
I think that's what people have with wrestling. They forgot wrestling is entertainment.
Yeah.
Our whole job is to make shit that doesn't hurt look like it hurts.
Yeah.
What's that? Are you gonna go arrest Denzel Washington because he killed people in the Equalizer?
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
And you like John, and you like him for doing it.
Yeah.
So get over it.
Well, we're not fucking Dave Meltzer. We're not Sean Ross twat. And we will happily, it's been fantastic talking to you. And, was there anywhere that you've sort of done any interviews and sort of been online before and sort of said any of this stuff? Or is it just sort of sporadically you've sort of been on and offline?
Yeah, I've said stuff here and there, but when people tarnish your name, they don't want to follow you, so they don't ever hear the real story because you're the only one telling the real story.
Yeah.
And as I said, I've never not just said something without proof. Everything has been out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, on my Twitter, there's 3 links to these girls that said shit and all the counters of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's been out there since the start, but people would rather hate somebody because if they go against the grain, then they're hated and their online lives is all they have. They didn't mess with my life on Twitter. They messed with my livelihood.
Yeah.
Like, I was a paid professional wrestler. That's how I made a living. That's how I fed my kids. That's how I lived. If I was so bad, trust me, I grew up in a time where there was 2 things you didn't mess with. You didn't mess with a man's family, and you didn't mess with a man's money, and they did both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never, ever got revenge because karma's real. And all that, if that stuff hadn't happened, I wouldn't have met my wife, which means I wouldn't have my daughter. And I'd be missing out in life. So it obviously happened for a reason.
Yeah.
It sucks that it happened. Maybe I would have got hurt in a match and died or paralyzed. So maybe I was being saved from something better.
Or the concussions, or
Yeah.
you see what's happened with Adam Cole recently.
Yeah, I wish I didn't lose touch with him because I tweeted about him, but I like Adam Cole. He's a great guy. I had great chemistry with him. I have nothing but respect for him. And
No.
sorry, the baby likes to tease my wife. Yeah, so it's like, sorry, the baby got me distracted.
No, it's all good, man. Adam Cole, he's in the news recently a lot.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and I wish I could have called him.
Yeah.
But I just don't have his number. But I'm very sad for that because I know how much he loves wrestling and how much he's dedicated to it and how great he is.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like to have something be taken from you that you love and cherish, and I feel really bad.
I mean, we spoke about doing a watch along and a commentary of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly's last match in NXT, which was just phenomenal. And then they both went to AEW sort of shortly after that. They were doing some really fantastic stuff. And,
Adam Cole main evented Wembley here, and that's no easy feat. It's Wembley Stadium here is massive, isn't it?
Listen, Adam Cole's great. What a great, He's
him and MJF, weren't it? Yeah, it was him and MJF main evented because we went to AEW when they were here before. We're going again in what is it, a week, 2 weeks?
Next week, I think. Yeah,
it's a week. It's a week Saturday or week Sunday. But I mean, we have kept you long enough, and we're honestly, Michael, we're so grateful that you speak to a couple of jabronis like us for 2 hours.
Oh, it was my pleasure, guys.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things to put in before we let you go, Michael. One of those is that, we obviously, whilst we're here, whilst we have you, and we're talking to you, we are imploring the sheets or whoever considers himself a wrestling journalist, if you have received a DM from Michael, read it for fuck's sake,
Yeah.
and use it in, put it on your website, on your, news site or news page. The other thing is, whilst it seems like, you're done with wrestling, you have such an incredible mind for it. I could tell this in the 2 hours we've been speaking.
100%.
Your mind for wrestling is fantastic. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I genuinely hope wrestling finds you again. And someone can offer you something, because in your mind there, just listening to you is it's kept. There's something there, man. Like there's gold in there.
I believe there is, and as much as I would enjoy that, I don't think Tony Khan definitely wouldn't, because the internet's too important to them. And that's not talking bad about AEW or Tony Khan. I've never met Tony Khan. From all accounts, from people that I know, especially Jimmy Jacobs, he's a great guy. I hope AEW succeeds, so I don't want that to come off negative. But he does listen to the internet too much, unless your name's Chris Jericho or Don Callis.
Yeah.
And WWE, I don't know. I mean, I would think so, because I know for a fact that people watch my tapes down there, because I've had students and really good friends be in NXT in the training system. And I also know that when Terry Taylor asked one of my students who trained him, he said my name, and Terry Taylor said, "I could tell you know what you're doing." And I never met Terry Taylor. So I would love to be a trainer or an agent for WWE. Don't get me wrong. Of course, if I got offered the right money to be able to support my family to the best of my ability and also do that, I would love to. An agent, whatever. Even creative. I got so many ideas for stuff that I've used on indies that never made it to WWE. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, because I'm going head on into filmmaking. And if I do half of what I did with wrestling, I'm going to be successful. And I'm not a person that half-asses it. So I'm going the same way I did wrestling. I'll sit up tonight and I'll watch TV shows or movies, and then I'll rewind it and record a camera shot that I liked. Like I'm fully engrossed in it. So I'm happy that I found a creative outlet. But even though I don't watch wrestling currently, I still love it. I'm always gonna love it. And I'm always gonna know what's happening and how to evolve, because I had to evolve. 23 years, there's evolution to it. And like I said, I might never get the credit, but I created a whole bunch of stuff that you see. And let me say one more story. WrestleMania weekend 2013, me against Jay Lethal. Sarah Del Rey and Joey Mercury were there, and I did the Jay standing on the apron deadlift suplex stall. And Joey Mercury and Sarah Del Rey said, "What a fantastic spot," to me. 2 weeks later, Claudio did it to Kofi on Raw. And Sarah Del Rey's with Claudio, and Joey Ryan liked Claudio.
Yeah.
So you know where he got that idea from.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there's no stealing in wrestling. I'm glad that he did it. But
Sure.
I influenced that. And I was successful everywhere I went. I went to Mexico, was a top guy. I went to New Japan. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if people know this, but had Jericho not agreed to that show, it was going to be me, Kenny, and Ibushi in a three-way.
Wow.
Shit.
At the request of Kenny. I was also supposed to be the one that dropped the TNA title to Kenny when he did the stint there.
Yeah.
At Kenny's request.
Yeah.
So I must be pretty fucking good if somebody's requesting matches with me on Wrestle Kingdom and for his run in a company as champion. Because Kenny's pretty fucking good last time I saw.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. Ain't his first rodeo.
No.
Oh, man.
I mean, Josh Alexander started blowing up after me and his stuff at AIW in Cleveland. Right? Like, I did a lot of stuff with a lot of people that did really good and helped a lot of people get better, because I was lucky enough to be around a lot of people throughout my career that I could learn from. And that's what's really missing. Nobody's learning no more.
Yeah.
Before my injury, when I was doing all these indie shows and stuff, people don't watch the monitor. They talk about their match, they go out and wrestle, and then they want to be on their phones. Watch the show, get better. Hear what match is getting the best reaction. Ask them how they did that. That don't happen.
Mate, it's funny you say that because The Undertaker on his podcast recently with Gunter said exactly the same thing. And he said that
Oh, really?
he said no one sits and watches the fucking monitor anymore. Back in the day, everyone was curtain jerking, watching, feeling the reaction, seeing what's going on, watching the monitor. And no one fucking does it anymore.
Nope.
Literally said that this week, dude.
I believe you, because I come from a place of respect for wrestling. And that's not saying that people don't have respect, but a lot of people don't show respect. And Undertaker came from an area that showed respect. And I came into an era in Canada where if you didn't respect it, then you were not going to make it. Because everybody still had great respect for what this was. And nobody shows that respect. I remember RJ City talking shit about The Undertaker, about something he said.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who the fuck are you to say anything to The Undertaker?
Yeah.
For what he gave to this sport? That motherfucker had third-degree burns and finished the match because he respects this so much.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk, who the fuck are you, RJ City? And I came in with RJ City, and I like him personally. Joey Janela's on Twitter bitching to legends every time they say something. Who are you? I worked you. You're not good. You had a little bit of internet buzz so that AEW booked you, but they didn't re-sign you, did they? Why? And I don't know. I like Jelly. I'm gonna call him what Cornette calls him. My bad.
Yeah.
But Joey, like I never had a bad interaction with him, but he talked a little shit online. But the truth is, I've wrestled him, and if he was as good as people thought with the buzz that he once had, why is he not on TV?
Well, did you see what happened recently? He was the guy that wrestled Sabu in his last match.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
You heard about that shit?
Yeah, but that's because him and GCW are tight, so he gets they're trying to make him a star. And that's good for them because GCW is a fantastic promotion, and Brett Lauderdale's a great guy. I'm happy that GCW has success because that gives people on the indies a goal too, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no PWG anymore. There's no Ring of Honor really, you know. I mean that in the sense of they're not bringing people in that aren't signed to Ring of Honor. They get local talent, right? There's no IWA Mid South when it was hot or CZW when it was hot. There's no promotion other than GCW on the indies that people are really getting recognized from.
Yeah.
So I'm happy they exist. I wrestled Joey, and I mean it was 2016, so I'm sure he's gotten better. But there was hype around him then, and he wasn't very good. He wasn't terrible, and he didn't hurt me, but he wasn't he wasn't the caliber of the other guys that were getting recognized at that time that are now all on TV.
Yeah.
He wasn't at their level.
Yeah.
You know, like when I first started working with like Strickland and stuff, like those guys were at the level.
Mm.
But there was internet rumors that like Joey was on the level, and he wasn't.
Wow.
And I'm not even trying to say that disparagingly. Like, fuck him for what he said online.
Cool.
Because he would never say it to my face. Or maybe he would, but I would actually beat him up. Well, you saw him. He kind of covered up and looked scared when that Dylan guy attacked him.
Yeah.
And then it took 4 of them to take him out. So maybe he is a pussy.
Yeah.
And then didn't Enzo punk him out too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, what is he going to do?
Yeah.
Maybe he's gotten better, though. You know?
Yeah.
I'm glad that he gets buzz for the company of GCW because GCW is very valuable to the wrestling community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll have to speak to you about your Hogan story at some point. I don't know if that was something you wanted to do on the show.
It's quick. It's quick.
We'll end on that if you're
okay.
happy.
Yeah. So I did this big show with Hogan, and I wrestled X-Pac on it, and I was the last edition because Justin Credible missed his flight, The owner, the guy who backed the company with money, loved me. The booker did not like me. And Nick, who was running it, called me and said, "Hey, I'd really like to get you on the show with Hogan. We're going to draw a lot of people." And he called me, and then like an hour later, I guess he talked to the booker, Donnie, and Donnie called me and started like, "Who are you to go behind my back? I'm the booker." And I was like, "Yo," he called me and hung up on him. But then Just Incredible no-showed it, and he called me and was like, "Hey, I thought you'd be perfect to take his spot against X-Pac." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it, but tell Nick I need triple what he pays me all the time." And he goes, "What? What?" I go, "Yeah, and tell him it's because you're an asshole." And then they booked me. I went to the show, and we were told by the booker, nobody goes in Hogan's locker room. It's Hogan, X-Pac, Nash. No, maybe it wasn't Nash. Maybe it was Hall. One of them, and the Nasty Boys and Steve Corino. And nobody shake Hogan's hand. So I see Hogan go in the locker room. I see Donnie follow in, and I went right in, shook Hogan's hand, introduced myself, said hello to Corino, and then went to leave. And Hogan's like, where's your bags, brother? I go, "Oh, in the jobber locker room." And right in front of the booker, because I'm trying to be a dickhead, right?
Yeah.
And Hogan goes, "No jobbers here, brother. Have some chicken wings," because, they had like catering and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, really? You don't mind?" And he's like, "Don't mind. Hell, you can take a whole thing over to the other guys." And I said, "No, I'll just stay here with you." And the booker was pissed. And then I sat down and he left and he goes, "Why is nobody coming to say hello?" And I was like, "Oh, the booker's a piece of shit." And then we just started like talking like regular people about wrestling, about life. And this was like 2009, so this was right before my Ring of Honor run.
Yeah.
I wasn't as well known. Hogan would have definitely not known me yet. So he treated me like one of the boys when he didn't have to. When a booker specifically didn't want the rest of the roster outside of those names treated like one of the boys.
Yeah.
But he was great to me. So, like I said, I had good interactions with pretty much everybody. Tama always had a stick in his ass. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why. It's when I started getting a push. And then he took me aside and was like, "This isn't Ring of Honor. We wrestle differently over here." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I love Japanese wrestling. Like, I know. It's okay." And then he just didn't like me since then. But whatever. He was kind of a dick. Which sucks because I want to like him because he looks so fucking cool. Like, he looks
Yeah.
like such
He
a cool
does.
pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's great, and then just sometimes he's not great. But it's weird. There's no in between with him. It's like a great performance or needs improvement in performance. It's never like, "Oh, that was pretty good." I don't know. Because he looks like, I mean, what a cool looking wrestler.
He looks the part for sure.
He
But
does.
just
Yeah.
everything about him, you know what I mean? Good looking dude, fit, hair, has charisma about him, like a weird charisma that's genuine and solo to him.
Mm.
He's great. But he's just kind of a dick. But outside of that, I can't think of anybody else that I had really bad experiences with, honestly. Simon Gotch.
I mean, but he's a dick anyway.
Yeah.
Fine.
I want to give him a titty twister. Those just big floppy boobies he's got. Just, yeah, everybody else was cool, I think. And Donnie, the guy I was talking about, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ruffy Silverstein, he was a piece of shit. You wouldn't know him. He would Team Canada for like a show or two.
Right.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit. But other than that, I had a pretty good run of meeting some really cool people.
It
Okay.
really
Yeah,
does sound like you did. Yeah.
four people in 23 years. And I don't even think Tom is a piece of shit. I just think that he was very protective because he came to the dojo, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's all I think it was. I just think it was he felt he had to protect there because that's where he came from. Which I get, but I just was never like that, so I don't know. But that's the Hogan story, and that's everything else. Sorry to keep you.
No, mate.
No, we
Honestly,
apologize to you. Yeah.
That's
we
fine.
apologise to you for keeping you, man. Like, you got stuff going on. I mean, we're just going to go to bed after this, but you've got probably like a whole rest of your day ahead of you.
Well, it's daughter time, so I do got to get off and.
Oh
Yeah.
man, enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah. She's or Piper, you want to come here? Want to say hello? Come here, baby. Want to say hello for me? Oh, want to come meet some friends? Say hello, baby. Say hello.
Hey.
See, they're waving. You want back down? You want to see Rex? Oh.
Man, we appreciate it so much, man, and
Yeah.
we will happily have you on for a part 2. We always say that to people, you know, if you ever got some more time to come on at some point, you know, we'd love to have you on again. And we're just
absolutely. If you ever feel that way, please stay in touch.
All you guys got to do is send me some Michael Pro.
Of course, and we're happy that you found, you know, that you're doing some movie stuff, and you know, you had your pro wrestling dream, and now you've got your movie dream.
Yeah, the one thing I beat myself up is I wanted to do WrestleMania. Every other goal I ever set, I accomplished except WrestleMania, and that I failed a bit. You know what I mean? I'm still happy.
Yeah.
But I should have had lies not crushed me for so long. I would have been on WrestleMania.
We have no doubt. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. Yeah, I can guarantee you, without a thought, me and Seth Rollins would be a perfect match.
Fucking great place to end it there, man. We cannot disagree with that at all.
No, you're right.
You know, and thank you so much for
thank
your
you
time.
Guys.
No,
And,
really thank you for joining us. Michael Elgin, what a superstar. Thank you. Chris and myself, we're really grateful that you've taken over 2 hours of your time to talk to a couple of dickheads from the UK.
No, it was my pleasure.
Sweet, man.
Thank you so much. Take care, man. Stay in touch. Stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys too, all right?
Take care, brother. Cheers. Bye.
So that was Michael Elgin. Thank you so much. We can't thank him enough for joining us. And we can't thank you guys enough for staying with us on this one. Over 2 hours. Oh my God. The guy had a lot to say. And
he had more that he could have said. We could have gone down so many avenues, and you know, but don't you think it's sort of, it's fucking crazy to say, but don't you think it's just wild that someone so talented and has done so much, and everyone that he was around and worked with and around was able to get where they've got, and because of some fucked up shit that he apparently has receipts for, has given them to people to put out, and has got rebuttals for all of it. They didn't put them out. Doesn't that even just make you think of even though we already think these people are a piece of shit, doesn't even just make you think even more that these guys...
It concerns me about the egos within wrestling journalism. I will use the quotes.
Yeah.
That, you know, good news and good, you know, and I mean, obviously they don't correct themselves anyway. When have you seen one of them correct themselves? They don't. Sometimes they just delete the post. They don't correct it. They just say, you know, there's no integrity there. And
Zero.
for that, I'm extremely disappointed in what we see on a daily basis from all of these sites, because he's obviously, you know, he said he messaged them all. Yep. The ones with the bigger names, and they've all said nothing or done nothing about it. So for that, they can go fuck themselves. If one of them decides they want to change that, then fine, by all means, because a lot of them have been called out on this show, in this episode. A lot of them will probably see it. They will probably see the clips that we put out. They will see all of those things. So I'm sure some of them will have some pretty negative things to say about Michael and our show. That's fine. We're used to it. We're used to half these dickheads blocking us anyway.
That's right.
You know, this is that show where people can come on and say what they like and say what they feel, and as long as they're telling the truth, we're fine. We're okay.
Absolutely. And this is a platform we're happy for people to do that, and it's just wild that, you know, and we don't even have as much scope, but you're not even close to what these guys have, and someone like Michael, who was where he was, and to come on and go, look, this is what's been accused. Here's the fucking receipts to say that it's all bullshit. You know, the guy clearly loves fucking wrestling and wanted to get
the passion shines through, man. It comes right through the screen,
man. Yeah. And it's I'm not being funny. It's hurting the business not having him involved in some way, shape, or form.
I'm sure people will disagree. I'm sure they will, because that's what wrestling and the IWC and that, you know, they will. They might even call us a few unfavorable things, but you know, we've got thick skin, and they can you know, go suck a lemon. Yeah. I don't care.
No.
For those that are stuck with us, you know, by all means, join us in the Facebook group. You know, the nearly 14,000 strong. Can't be wrong. I can't stress that enough. If you've liked this, you know, hit the like button. If you feel like it, hit the subscribe button. If you've been listening, 5-star, because this is one of those ones. This is a generational interview, 5-star interview. I can't, you know, me and, you know, we've been talking about the big fucking Lebowski, like,
dude, and fucking Trailer Park Boys, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking decent, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you can't say fairer than that on a fucking Thursday evening, you know, chatting, shooting the shit, with someone who has done and been everywhere, dude. You know, it's insane, and this is why we do it, isn't it?
Yeah, this is exactly why we do it. We set this up like literally 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Reached out, and yeah, he come back to us so quickly and said, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah. And he has told, you know, he's talked about everything. He's not shirked any issue. Like, so grateful.
Yeah.
That someone comes on and talks like that with us.
He spilled the tea. And, you know, he spilled the fucking tea. Don't you think it's weird as well? You know, it's almost scary, the relevance of, you know, when he's talking about what he said about Don Callis and certain other things, and, you know,
he's mentioned names, he's mentioned, you know, NDAs and stuff, and
yeah,
I'm sure it will come to light. It'll all come to light eventually. I just, yeah, what an awesome way to spend nearly 2.5 hours.
Fantastic, mate.
You know, Michael Elgin was, you know, was touching greatness. He was that close. You know, the guy has 5-star fucking matches, which might mean a lot to some people. 5-star ratings aren't the be all and end all here on this show. Never have been. But if that guy says that Michael Elgin's had a 5-star match, you know, it's worth looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't think it's 5 stars, it's worth looking at. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like,
mate, I'm gonna go and watch some Trailer Park Boys right now, and check up on the football transfer window action, if there's been any.
I imagine if I try and watch something now, I'll fall into either a Kabashi Misawa rabbit hole or some sort of, you know, Shinya Hashimoto. I've done it many times. I fall into a complete rabbit hole with Shinya Hashimoto matches because the fire that guy has is just unreal.
Just watching or watching one of those compilations.
We'll go and watch the Jumping Bomb Angels.
Yeah, mate. Or watch like one of the Japanese 90s finishing move compilations.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, what a great episode, and I thank each and every one of you guys for sticking with it. We appreciate and love you all. Chris, I appreciate you for staying with us as well and for jumping in at the right time.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I'd like, subscribe, do your thing, guys. Until next time, which I think will probably be Forbidden Door. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Peace.